Okay, did you press it?
Yeah, it says 003 now.
003. Oh, I'm far ahead. We already fucked up the recording. We gotta start all over now.
All right, we're done. Like, everybody go home.
So, welcome everyone to an episode of No Bed Podcast. I am with a special guest. He's been on a couple of our streams. It's Mars AC.
All of
everybody.
them. Hello. How are you?
you may remember him from that one funny clip where I could probably pop it up on here and post. That one where he shoved ice cream all over my face. That was pretty funny. That was a good time. There was also that other time where we did some dance unicorn. I humped a plushie into his face. There's also that. That was pretty funny.
Oh yeah, that was
good.
Oh no, I like threw it. That's what I did. We'll
just see what the recording says. I don't remember. We'll just see.
No, who was the? Oh yeah, you were the one I think that put the mushroom in the horse's mouth, right?
Yeah,
then I beat him up.
Yeah. Yeah, where the sound is off. I did, but I guess apparently I kept it because they said it made it funnier. Apparently, that's that.
Well, because it was just like slightly off.
It was like cheesy, pretty much.
Yeah, because it's like I hit it, but it's like,
So pretty much, Mars has been around for the YouTube channel for a while. He's pretty much done a lot of collaborations. He used to have his own videos at one point. I'm guessing I don't know why he took off. I mean, that's not my channel. What the fuck do I care? All I know is he's still active. He still lurks in YouTube channels. He still looks around. He'll comment and stuff. Typical YouTuber dumb stuff.
Of course. I'm retired. No, I'm just too lazy to do my own stuff. I just show up.
I mean, there used to be YouTubers that would just there's YouTubers, they just do their own thing and they don't really upload much. I mean, you have YouTubers who some of the really high quality content YouTubers, they pretty much upload every couple months because they do crazy editing or because they gather like thousands of hours of footage.
Yeah. That was a lot of work. A lot of work and money. No, what is it? I think the videos that got the most views when I did them were like Comic-Con. Just because like people just want to see what's going on.
Oh yeah.
I still think the funniest one is because I think like one of my last video, I think it was the last video, like I did a Comic-Con video, and then at the end I was like, oh yeah guys, so I'm gonna start uploading regularly and like do this and that, and then I just did nothing. And I think it was like a year later someone like commented, they're like, so where's the new content? And I was like, what the heck? I was like, who's watching this?
Was that before you pretty much took the videos off? Because I don't think they're there anymore. Oh
yeah, I think it was before I like privated them because I'm like, because I think I told him like, oh yeah, I'm not doing anything or something like that. But yeah, then after I'm like, yeah, maybe I should private it so people like don't stumble upon it and be like, yeah, like what the heck, he lied.
And you could also use it. Some people use their channels for like shit posting if you usually watch those, or they do like small snippets. Like there's channels that only do shorts. Have you seen those? They like skyrocketed views. It's crazy how crazy that stuff is taking off.
Yeah, well, especially if the freaking TikTok ban happens, everyone's gonna go to shorts.
Well, it seems like people have really, really short attention span because I'm guessing because you have do you still use TikTok or you did use TikTok, right?
No, I still use it.
I
don't use it as much, but yeah, I still use it.
So people say it's actually like a brain rot, like you're just mindlessly scrolling. Do you find that true, or is that mostly with other people?
I try not to do it, but yeah, like it does do it because I've noticed like my attention span for longer video stuff, like has kind of gone down because of using TikTok. Because I'm like, dang, I'm like, yeah, I gotta give, like, unless there's interesting things happening, like if there's just a slow part, I'm like, yeah, let me just skip this. Or like, oh, I'm bored.
Dang.
It's all because of TikTok. They've messed with my mind. What the heck is it? Leon Lush brain worms. That's what they did.
Classic.
Yep.
Classic.
Exactly.
What's up? Oh,
What was I gonna-
so I don't know. No one else knows this in the chat, but I feel like, in my opinion, it sounds like Mars is a bad driver. He always has these stories of him almost dying. Every time I meet him, he has this crazy story of like people always driving into his car and shit.
I'm a good driver.
Okay, what do you have a crazy story for us today? Did someone almost hit you today?
Today?
It was an actual normal day for you.
Let's see. Well, I mean, I don't know, I guess you can kind of like this one wasn't as close as like other ones have been. But like when I was first getting on the freeway today, because like there's the on-ramp and the freeway itself, once you get on, like the on-ramp goes into one of the lanes and then there's another lane. So there's 2 lanes on the freeway. And like most people, you know, would be smart, and if they're not taking the exit anytime soon, they wouldn't be in the lane that the on-ramp merges into, because, you know, like that's dumb because people are going to get on the freeway, so you're going to block them or they're going to block you, vice versa. So when I was getting on the freeway today, like there was this guy that he was in the lane that I was going to merge into, and like I had to like slow down a little bit when I was first getting on because he was like there was no one in the other lane next to him. Like he could have gone over, but he just like he was just riding like all close to me, and then like he gets ahead of me and then I merge on, but I'm like, dude, I'm like, what? Like you're dumb. I'm like, there's nobody here. And then he doesn't even like, cause like then I took like the next exit or something because like my work is like pretty close. Yeah. But then this guy, like, he just kept going. So I'm like, what? I'm like, yeah, you had to change lanes anyways, because like the lane you merge onto, if you stay in that lane, it takes you to the next exit. So it's like if you want to stay on the freeway, you have to get over anyways. So then yeah, he had to get over anyways, but like he just did it after. Where I'm like, all right. I'm like, you're dumb. But that one wasn't as bad as some of my other stories. What was it? There was one time like I was turning and this diesel like almost hit me because like
a diesel truck?
Yeah, the diesel truck. Because
those
like
diesel trucks that would pretty much murder you if you hit them.
Yeah. No, but he almost hit me. Like I wasn't gonna hit him. It's because
you sure you
like,
were in this blind spot?
No, like he was coming towards me. So like because I was turning at this light, so it's like there's 2 lanes to turn left. So I was in the farthest left one. There was a diesel to my right, and like the light changes, so we had the arrow to turn. So we're both turning, and then as because the diesel was ahead of me, so since like he had to turn a little bit wider, I gave him a second so like he doesn't accidentally go in my lane. And then when I started to turn, there was another diesel coming from my left side that was turning right, because like since we have the arrow, like they can turn right too, like they just have to like wait a second. But it's like he started turning when I was turning left, and then like where that turn is, if they're the diesels, like they do have to do wider turns because like it's really tight. But then like I'm going and I'm just like in between 2 diesels, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm like, don't hit me. I'm like, please, I'm just trying to get through. And then luckily like nothing happened, but I was like, well, like what the heck? I'm like, this is like never happened where I'm like sandwiched in between 2 diesels.
It's stuff like that makes me think maybe you just have I
just have bad luck.
Like you have this aura of bad luck. Like maybe you attract crazy people. I mean, I heard that apparently that's a perk some people have. Like they attract weirdos. Maybe that's
Well, I mean, like it might be because my car's red. Cause like I know for a fact that like cops will look at my car more often just because like it's red, so it's really easy to notice. But like I don't know if that like has to do with dumb drivers and stuff too. Because there's been some people that have tried to race me since my car has a turbo. Which like it's funny because I'm like, dude, I'm not gonna race you. I'm like, I know where the cops are. I'm like, I'm not gonna race if we can get a ticket. And then it's funny because a lot of the times when the people do try to race me, like it's because like most people, since a lot of people tend to be on their phones when they drive.
Yeah.
So like me, like I don't use my phone when I'm driving. Like if someone calls me, whatever, like I pull over, like get to my destination, then I'll like mess with it. Like I don't use it. But because I pay attention to the lights, like I'll look and I'll watch the countdowns. I'll check the crosswalks. Like watch. I'm like, oh, this light's changing yellow, so I'm like, my light's gonna change in a second. Yeah. So like because I focus on that a lot more than your average person would. Like when there have been people that try to race me, like they're not watching the light, so like they'll be all ready to go, and then like they miss the light, so I just like easily pass them, and like I'm not even trying to race, like I just go the speed limit, and I'm like, yeah, I'm like, dude, you're stupid. Because there was one time, I think it was last week, this guy, like I think he had a Mustang, and like he pulled up next to me, like he actually pulled a little past the line, like where you're supposed to wait, and the like where we go, like our two lanes, so his lane, like it's like we have the light, we go through the light, and then his lane merges into mine a little bit after the light. So like he's thinking like, oh yeah, I'm gonna speed past this guy, but like I don't know, he was sleeping or what, but because of the light changed, like I went like a good like 10-15 feet before he even started moving his car, so like I easily like passed him, and I'm like, yeah, I'm like, idiot. I'm like, you freaking started past the line and I still beat you.
I just lack peripheral vision, man.
Yeah, and I'm all looking at my rear view, and I'm like, like look at this dummy. I'm like, he had to slow down because like he tried to gain like part way through, but like I was too far ahead, so it's like he had to slow down to merge like into my lane. And I'm like, look at this idiot. And then it was funny because then I swear he turned it like the next street, so I'm like, what? I'm like, yeah, there was no point for you to get ahead of me in the first place. It's pretty funny.
Well, so that's a small snippet, I guess, into modern Mars. This is crazy life, I guess.
Yeah. And then I mean, like, I'll do commentary when I'm driving too. It depends how much commentary I do. Because I mean, when I'm driving by myself, I'll usually do more commentary. But like, if I drive with other people, are you gonna be like a
YouTuber, like, hey guys, there's some crazy ass motherfucker on the road that almost swiped me, bro?
I mean, sometimes it seems like that because, like, I'll just like comment about like different drivers. I'm like, look at this idiot, he can't turn. I'm like, oh, look at this guy. I'm like, oh, guess his signal's broken. Like, he ran out of signals for the day, or like this and that.
Dang, you let your intrusive thoughts out loud.
Well, because like, when I'm with other people, I try not to get as mad when people do dumb stuff, but like when I'm by myself, like if someone like pisses me off, like I'll be like, hey, like,
bro, you're telling me the road rage commercial is literally you.
Well, I mean, like, I'm not gonna do anything. Like it's all fun and games.
That's what everyone says. Oh, I'm not gonna do anything. Next thing you know, you have someone's face in your fucking piss.
Yeah. No, because like, I'll just like screw around because like in my driver's ed class in school, like they because like we had a bunch of like discussions and stuff about like road rage and things, and like I remember there was this one where like this person, I think they threw like a chalupa at someone they got mad at, and the chalupa happened. Yeah, I think it was from like taco time or something. But what happened? Because they threw it in the person's window, but it missed the person, and I guess it like hit their baby or something, like in the back seat. So that person, like that person, I guess got pissed. They followed the person like to an alley, which I mean, like the person that threw the chalupa should not have stopped in an alley. Like, if someone's following you, like, go to a police station.
Yeah.
But like they went and stopped in an alley. Both people got out, and the person that their baby got hit, I guess, just like stabbed the person in the head. And I was like, what? Like, jeez, like what the heck?
Damn, they probably just saw red after her baby getting hurt.
Yeah, I'm like, dude, that escalated. I'm like, yeah, they shouldn't have hit your kid, but I'm like, first off, like, they weren't aiming at your kid, and I'm like, secondly, like, you just murdered someone. Like, now you're going to jail. Who's gonna take care of your kid?
Yeah, now your kid has no one.
Yeah. But just like stuff like that, where I'm like, there's times where I've gotten like mad at drivers, but I'm like, I'm not gonna get to the point where I'm gonna go like run someone down or something, because I'm like, dude, like, at the end of the day, like, people will make mistakes or be dumb, but I'm like, yeah, it's not worth going to jail over, oh, this guy cut me off. Like, what the heck?
Must have gotten so bad if they start making commercials for it. So that's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I know, because what is it? Like, I remember back when movie theaters, like, do you remember the commercials where they used to, like, it was promoting, I think, the Camel cigarettes? Where, like, it'd have the guy partying and stuff, and then it goes and changes to him, like, where he's, like, all sick and, like, dying in the hospital, and it's like, this is what drugs do to you. And then now, like, they don't do those anymore. Like, I rarely see them. Like, now it's the road rage where I'm like, dang, I'm like, that just shows, like, how, I guess, society has shifted. Like, instead of people having, like, I guess, problems more with, like, smoking cigarettes, it's like, no, it's like, people are freaking going crazy when they drive. It's like, they're turning into the Hulk. We gotta stop this. Attempts to drop.
What the hell is that?
Oh no, the computer is saying temps to drop. I guess it's gonna be colder today. Nice.
Oh, I was like, what the hell's that sound? I was like, scared the shit out of me.
Exactly.
So, in a few words, I guess you would say, Mars, for people who might not know, what do you want to tell us about yourself exactly?
Let's see. I guess I can start with some interests. So, well,
yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
so like,
so that people control you with your dislikes.
Yeah, messed up. No, I'm just kidding. Well, I mean, like, some of these, I guess, people that have like watched the like streams we usually do will know a little bit about. But like, I'm really big into comic books. Like, I think I started collecting them when I was like around 14, because like before that I would like, I think my uncle and like my dad and like some other people, like, I just borrow theirs, because like obviously, like, I'm like 14, like, who said I can't freaking afford anything. But then
you can't even get a slave job.
Yeah, but then because I think I got my newspaper job around then, because like that you didn't need to be 16 for. So it's like, once I started kind of making an income, then I'm like, yeah, let me start getting comics. Like, I want to learn more about these, because like you can like Wikipedia stuff too, because like that, well, I'll still do that, but like that's what I would do a lot of when I would start out, like, to know if like, oh, like, what comics should I read? And it's like, oh, like, yeah, so and so said these are really good comics, or it's like, oh, like, oh, you want to read about this character, like, these ones are really good to start with. So then like I started doing that slowly, like reading all the classics, then getting more into like individual characters. And now I've gotten to the point where like certain writers, like, or, well, yeah, I guess mostly writers, like, if I've read their stuff in the past and I'm like, yeah, this guy's pretty cool, so if they make a new thing, I might read it. But then I've also like started to get really big into like the indie comics, because like, I mean, Marvel and DC, they have their moments. Like DC, I actually haven't really read a lot of recently, but like Marvel, there's a few that I've been reading like ongoing. But yeah, indie comics, I've been getting into those a lot more, just because like, I don't know, to me, like, I like how their stories actually like are continuous, because with like when you get the big, yeah, because like when you get, because I mean, they'll have retcons or like whatever here and there, but like when it comes to Marvel and DC, like those big ones, like they don't really care about continuity and stuff. Like more, it's kind of like, oh, if you want to read this run of Batman or something, it's like you just read what this guy's writing, and anything before that or after doesn't matter, because it's like it's more just like, oh, whatever the writer does, like that's their story. Where with indie comics, it's like you read it, it's like, oh, like say you have like 100 issues, like those 100 issues all go together, and like they'll reference things like, oh, because like Spawn is really good about that, where like because I remember a couple months ago, like when I started reading Spawn, like from the very beginning, because I think it was like the first few issues when he comes back like from hell after dying. Like he mentions, he's like, yeah, like I should go visit my family and see how they're doing. And then it wasn't until I think like issue, like it was like 170, 80, like around that range, that like that's when he actually does go visit them. But it's like, oh, it's like, hey, like remember when he said he was gonna do that? And it's like, that's pretty cool because they remember.
Wait, but do they? So like, if it's been so long, wouldn't his family get pissed off that if he was alive the whole time, they wouldn't visit him?
Also, like, I guess with that, what they do, it's because like with his family, you find out that technically his parents knew about the whole foreshadowing of him eventually becoming a Hellspawn. Like you find out that they knew about it.
Whoa!
And
spoilers or not really?
I guess not really, because like it goes into more about it, because like what one person, well, like they both know about it, but one is actually like, oh yeah, we should protect our son, and the other one's like, no, freak him. Like we'll let him become a Hellspawn. And then like because of that, like his parents, it's like they're kind of like in this I don't know, they're in this like pocket dimension type thing, because it's like they're at the place that they lived at, but it's like the rest of the world can't really see them. Like it's like what is it, like, you know the movies where it's like people are kind of camouflaged or whatever, where it's like, oh, like there's a house here, but it's like the rest of the people can't see it, but if you walk through like the camouflage, it's like, what the heck, there's a house here, like who would have known?
Oh, okay.
So it's kind of like that thing, because like I don't know if they're like stuck, like cursed or what. Like
where do they get their food and water then?
Well, yeah, that's what I mean. It doesn't explain it, because like I don't think they can leave. So like I don't know if it's kind of like, oh, as long as you're here, like you won't die type thing. So it's like you have unlimited resources or whatever. But it's like
you'll just be bored because you can't watch TV or nothing.
Yeah, I think they actually do mention that. I think like the TV like doesn't work or something. So like I don't know what they've been doing there or like how they've survived, but that's where they were.
Boring.
And then like it mentions his brothers like later. It's like, oh, it's like, yeah, they've just kind of been doing their own thing, because like his brothers, it's like, oh, they were kind of close when they were kids.
Moment, they think he's dead, right? I guess it's how they explained it. So they kind of moved on.
Well, yeah, because everyone like thinks he's dead. But then, like, even then, like, when he was alive, like, he wasn't really that close with his brothers, or I guess his family, to, like, begin with as they got older. So it's kind of like, oh, like, when he was alive, they didn't really visit each other. So it's like, since he's been dead and came back, like, it's not really that different than when he was alive. They're just like, oh, like, what the heck? Like, I thought you were dead. He's like, just kidding.
I'm Frank, bro. I'm alive.
Yeah. Or what is it? The one I've been reading recently has been the IDW Turtles, because like I'm almost
Ninja Turtles?
Yeah, I'm almost fully caught up with that, because like I need what is it, like, yeah, I need 2 more books, because one of them doesn't come out till July, but then the other one, like, I just need to get. And then because what is it, like they just barely ended, I think, at 150. Because now they're kind of restarting it type thing, because they're gonna have a new writing team. So it's like 1 to 150 is that like whole run, and then it's like the new stuff they're gonna make after that, starting like September or something. Since it's a new writer, it's like, oh, it's like they might reference things here and there, but it's like, oh, if you just wanna start picking up the turtles from here, like this is a good starting point.
Yeah.
Where so like that I'm like almost caught up because like the new book that comes out in July I think ends on issue 132 or something like that. So it's like they'll probably make another book like finishing off the like that collection. But when I was looking at it, like they usually do it like a year later, so it's like I'd have to wait a year for that final one where I'm like I might just collect the last couple issues because it's like 20 issues if that. Because I'm like I want to know what happens.
Rich guy over here.
Honestly, all at once, because yeah, they can get pricey if you get a lot, but we'll see. Because like I have a comic, because the comic store I normally go to, like they're really good about like graphic novels, or if you want to get like collectibles like pop figures and stuff. But when it comes to back issues, there's this other one that like I go to because they like if you want to find like super old things, it could be like comics from like the 60s, like you'll find it there, and I'm like, dang. And they don't overprice them either when it's like back issues. They'll sell it for like what it's actually worth.
You'll buy those back issues that are worth hundreds of dollars.
Nah. Did you freaking? The book better be made of gold if you want me to pay $100 for a $2 issue. I'm like, there's like 20 pages in this. Like, calm down.
So I don't think anyone knows. Is there a conclusion to you searching for that Rebirth Suicide Squad comic? I forgot what issue it is. What was the specific issue that you're still looking for? It was like Rebirth. Sorry, not Suicide Squad. Rebirth.
Oh, the Teen Titans. Yeah.
Which issue was it? What year? What run?
What is? Yeah, I think technically it's New 52 Titans.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's Teen Titans number 12 because it's supposed to
during
be
what, like to 2005 run or what?
I think it's like 20. It's in the 2010s, like. Era. Like I'm not sure.
So it's pretty much part of the Bat Metal storyline, because I'll just pop it up on screen, so then like I'll have it pop up on the screen so people know what issue you're talking about.
Yeah, because like I like it's because like yeah, it's when the original Bat Metal run was going on, so it was part of the like side stories where it's like, oh, like this is what the other people are doing, because I think it's Gotham. I think it might be Gotham Resistance Part 1. But so like that issue is such a pain to find. Just because I guess that's the first time the Batman Who Laughs ever appears, like in comic. I guess
you still have. So what you're saying is, to this day, you still have not found it.
Yeah, every time I look for it, like it's so funny because like I'll find the Teen Titans run and I'll look through the issues. There's be like 1, 2, like get up to 11, then it's like 13, 14. I'm like, where's 12? I'm like, I just want number 12.
It depends, I guess, how much you're willing to spend. Like, are you saying like 100 is the most or less of a comic you'll buy, or it depends what it is?
Well, because with single issues, I'd say the most I would spend is maybe $20. But like, it has to be like, I'm like dying to get this issue, because normally like comics, like individual issues, like yes they can vary, but for the most part they're like between $3 and $5. So I'm like, because normally when if you buy like back issues from eBay, people usually sell them for like $10 if not more. So I'm like, already they're making like double what they actually paid for it. But yeah, so stuff like that, I'm like, at most maybe 20, because I'm like, dude, that's like 4 times what the freaking comic was worth. I'm like,
I'm guessing
like it's not worth.
I'm guessing $10 might be not too bad, I guess.
Well, yeah, because like when I've gotten stuff off eBay, like yeah, I'll pay $10 because I'm like, because that I guess factors in shipping or whatever too. So I'm like, yeah, it's not too bad. But
like
yeah,
20
like
or $30 or what is that? I could probably look up. I'm guessing the current rate for that issue, last time I checked, was it like in the 50s or more? I can't remember. It was pretty high up.
Yeah, I think it's like 50 or so because I know Batman Damned #1, like that one's higher. Which I mean, like, given it was a Black Label book, where like those books are between like $7 and $9 an issue, but that one is.
Aren't the pages like longer and it's higher quality paper and all that shit?
Yeah. So like those ones I can understand why like the individual issues a little more, but like that one specifically, the reason why people overcharge for the original one, because I think they did like what is it? I think they like I guess re-released it, but they like edited it. But if you want the original one, like it's super expensive because that's the issue where it showed like the bat dong or whatever. Well, I guess the shadow. So that's why people were like, "Oh, this is good." It was so funny because like I remember
you're
at
telling
this
me there's a comic that shows the Batman's dong.
Exactly.
Dang, I gotta get this issue.
Yeah. Well, no, but the funny thing is, so like if you get you can buy, I think, the digital version for normal price, but they edited it, and same with the re-release. That's why like the original one is well, because I bought the digital one like just to see, because I'm like, oh, bro, I'm missing this issue.
Bro, you're like, son of a bitch, I want to see Batman's dick. What the fuck?
Exactly. Well, because so the thing is like what kind of makes me mad is like I remember when the series first started, and like I remember seeing.
You know what makes me mad is to this day I still haven't seen his dick.
Well, I mean you can find it online if you really want.
Yo.
But no, but I remember like I saw the first issue when it was originally released. But the thing is, like, I didn't know what this that series was about, so I didn't care for it. Yeah. But then when I when I heard, I'm like, oh, like there's like this controversy with it. I'm like, what the heck is this? And then that's when I heard about that, and I heard it was also a sequel to I think it's called Joker, which was like that was a Batman comic written like a while ago, where it's supposed to be a sequel to that one. Where I'm like, I've read that one, like that one's pretty cool. So then when I went and I'm like, oh, it's only supposed to be like 3 issues or something, I'm like, let me start getting it. And then like I remember I found issues 2 and 3, and then I couldn't find 1, and like it's because of that, where I'm like, freak, I'm like, I should have just bought it when I saw it originally, because like eventually that's why I got the digital like audio, or because I think it was like on the Nook or something like that, I don't know. Yeah. Well, like that's why I got it, just so like I could know the story. But I'm like it's a pain, because I'm like, since I have the other 2 like physical copies, like I just want my collection to be like
did not
the
have
same.
That dong and all of its paper glory.
Didn't. I think they just like edited it. They put like a little bar over it or something. I don't know. Because like it's not the same.
It's not the same. I want the uncensored version. It's not the same.
So that's what, like, I guess that's like a good reason to get comics when they're coming out, because like if they do have like stuff like controversial, or like say they have like an editing mistake when it gets printed out, like if you have the original copy like as it's being released, like then you can sell it for more money. Because I know Immortal Hulk, like when I was getting that series, there was one issue that I got that I guess like they what is it, Bruce Banner, like he's the Joe Fixit personality, and he's going to this pawn shop, and at the pawn shop, like there's supposed to be like a star, I think, for the like just the like symbol of the pawn shop, but the way it was printed, it looks like the Star of David or something, and people got mad about it. So I guess later ones
how do you do that?
Yeah, I don't know like how they screwed up, but the thing is like so later ones they changed, because like they're like freak, like yeah, it wasn't supposed to be like that, but like I have the one that looks like it, and I was just like, oh, I'm like, cool, I'm like, I guess I have, like, I'm lucky I have the original.
That's funny. So pretty much to reiterate, your main interest is comics, in case anyone kind of got lost in the way.
Yes. Well, yeah, well, because like I have other ones, but like it just varies on the time, because like video games, like I'm big into video games, but like recently I haven't been like, well, I guess like more modern ones, I haven't really been doing stuff like when we stream on Sundays, like that's kind of when I'll play games. Like
I mean,
just
did you
because.
see, well, I think it was an article. Maybe you've seen it where they say that, like, can't remember what percentage it was. Maybe 20, 30%. I could be wrong. I'll probably find it. Where, like, pretty much there was a high percentage of people playing games like more than a decade old in the modern day.
Well, I mean, like, I can see that because I've noticed too, like, when I do play games, like, a lot of the newer games coming out, I don't really care for. Because, like, that's why, like, it's really fun when we stream, because, like, how we're streaming older games. Because, like, because then, like, it makes me, like, if I do play games when I'm home, like, I'll just play, like, old games, too. Because I'm, like, the new ones, like, they don't have...
Well, it's kind of
like
they're
not the same,
right? It's
kind
of like, it's kind of like an investment. Like, when you buy a modern game and you don't know much about it, or you see trailers, you're kind of investing, like, is this something worth my hard-earned money? With what old games, you know for sure they're good. Like, you know for sure Mario is pretty much worth your time. You know that Donkey Kong is worth your time because you've played it. Like,
yeah. Well, and then I mean, just sorry,
people are more prone to stick to what they already know instead of being worried about like getting shit on the plate. Pretty much.
Yeah. Well, and just with older games too, like you have the full game because it's like, as time has gone on, like, video games have gone up in price, and, like, you're not even getting a finished game anymore. Like, you're paying for, like, half the game, and then it's like, oh, if you want the extra stuff, or you want to know how the rest of it ends, here, pay another, like, $30 for a season pass. And, oh, guess what? This season pass is gonna take, like, 2 years to get done. And I'm like, dude, like, I just want to play the freaking game. I don't want to play. I'm like, I don't want to take 3 years to beat one game.
Like, what game was it that we played on PlayStation? Dead Island 2. I feel like the ending feels like they just wanted to make story DLC.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and that one, like, I don't even know if they're done with the DLC yet. I think they just barely released the second one.
Yeah, I have no idea if it's all of them. I don't know how long it is. I have to look up how long it takes. Maybe it's worth a stream that we could play. I mean, it's possible. But if it takes like an hour to beat each one, I mean, I could probably do that in one stream. Let's do it for 2 hours.
Because like that game's pretty fun. Because I mean, like, I know. Well, I mean, I never played the first one.
Like, fun doesn't mean good. Like, you can have fun with bad games.
Yeah. Because I guess I don't have anything to compare it to, since I've only played that one. I never played the first one. Like, I've heard. Well, I guess, and they're technically like 3, because it's like the original, then Riptide, and then this one. Or do the like arcade like ones kind of count too?
No, I think the arcade is kind of like its own thing. Kind of like how there's a Poso arcade game. I think it's like a side scroller or just random.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because, like, I haven't played those other two. I mean, like, I got them. Like, I just have to play them now. But, like, just from me playing it, like, I really like how when you beat up the zombies, like, how they look damaged and, like, messed up over time. Because, like, I remember when we played it, like, we would, like, laugh at it because it's, like, you just, like, keep pummeling them and they, like, slowly, like, decay and freaking turn to, like, bone. Where I'm like, oh, like, that's really cool. But I guess,
I know it depends, though. Like, certain areas, it's so cartoonish that they don't even register you killing them. And you're like, what the heck? It's supposed to be a modern game. It should register me, breaking a limb off. Somebody didn't register, but the points it did, it looked good.
Yeah. Because, I mean, like, the story itself is, like, okay. Because, like, I've heard...
it's not that good.
Yeah, because I've heard, like, the other games people do like a lot better. So, like, I'll have to play them sometime.
I think it's because, from what I played in the first one... Well, even the story for the first one, I would say, because I played it, it's not the best. I don't recall playing Riptide, but as far as I know in the first one, I could be wrong. As far as I know, it's only in the story mode it seems to take itself too seriously. I think when you do the side missions, that's kind of the better content, because it's like, it doesn't take itself too seriously. When you do the main story, that's kind of where it's kind of weird.
Yeah. Oh. Well, yeah, because I guess
I have to replay it. I could be wrong, but I mean, that's what I remember at the moment.
Alright. Yeah, but, like, I guess just with that game, because, well, like, how long did it? Because I swear, like, I swear it came out. I think
Maybe
a little bit out. Yeah, I think a little bit after I got back from California. And look, like they're still not done with the DLC because what was it? Like I think Wolfenstein 2, like the new Colossus, when that game came out, I was like, oh, I'm like, yeah, I might get the I'm like, oh, I might get the DLC, but then I'm like, oh my, no, I'll just wait on it. I know Spider-Man, like
the Colossus had a DLC before Youngblood came out.
Yeah, because I think, well, so I don't think you played as the main like guy. I think it was like you played as some of the side characters. So it's like,
okay.
yeah, like if you want to know what they're doing,
I guess.
Yeah, because that one like I debated where I'm like, oh my god, I'll just wait. But like I know for a fact,
do I actually care about these guys?
Yeah, but I know for a fact when Spider-Man, like the Marvel, like Sony Spider-Man, whatever, like that game, or Insomniac Spider-Man, that's what it is.
Yeah.
When that one first came out, like I remember, like I just completely forgot there was a DLC, and it wasn't until I think right before the second game came out that like I was like replaying the original because I'm like, yeah, like what the heck happened? And then I was like, oh freak, I'm like, wait, there's DLC for this game, like yeah, let me buy it. So because like the DLC goes with the game. Yeah, because the DLC like it has to do with the freak, what are they? It has to do with the mobsters because like you fight Hammerhead, like I forget what their names are, but like that takes place right after the story, and it actually like I guess it's a connect, like it does a connection like between that and then you have the Miles game, which is kind of like a side story in its of itself because like
they charge like full price for that.
Yeah, because it's like more like a little more than a basic side story, but it's not like worth like a full game. And then they made the second one, and the second one I know has I think it has DLC coming out, but I think when I bought it, like I got the season pass or something, so like I'll get it when it eventually comes out. But I mean, like I beat that game so long ago.
The season pass, I've had that happen when I was younger.
Well, the only reason I got it is just because like this game, like I don't think they made physical copies of it.
Yeah.
Or no, I think no, man. Yeah, it's either they didn't make a physical copy, or in order to get the DLC, you had to get the digital version, which was like $10 more than the normal one. Where I'm like, yeah, I want like the DLC bonuses, and because like you got like 20 extra costumes or something, plus the season pass with it. Where I'm like, yeah, I'm like that, like yeah, that's good. like that for what I get, like that's a pretty decent price. So that's why I just did that. Oh no! Oh wait, no! That's what it was. So it was a physical copy, but if you wanted the bonus DLC stuff, you had to upgrade for the digital deluxe, which was like $10 more. So that's what I did, because like I just had the basic game, and then once I while I was downloading it, I just $10 or whatever, and then like get upgraded. But now I'm supposed to get like everything. Where I'm like, yeah, that's a lot better, because the last one, I think for the season pass originally it was like $30, but since I waited, it was like half that. And then what is like Doom Eternal, like I still haven't played the DLC for that. What? Because like because I remember like it came out, because I think the first one came out before I left to California, and then the second one came out like just while I was gone, and I'm like, yeah, I still need to play that. Because I'm like, I paid for it. Well, yeah, just
Mars can play in the future.
Yeah, but just like just with the modern, but just with the modern games, I'm like, why are you releasing content so late? Because I'm like, oh yes, I understand you want to keep players like playing the game, but the thing is like, there's different games for reasons. Because it's like obviously games like Fortnite, they release a new thing every couple months, so it's like that's how part of their game mechanics. So it's like obviously that's how they keep people playing. But it's like any kind of shooter game like Call of Duty or well, I guess Halo's not really around as much anymore, but like those type of games, it's like they keep you around because they have the multiplayer feature, where it's like if you play like a single player story game, like if it doesn't have a multiplayer type aspect to it, it's like, yeah, obviously your fans, like there's only so much content, like, and then they're done with the game, like, oh, I'm gonna keep repeating the same, like, the game over and over again. It's like, no, like there's only so much content, so it's like, if you're planning on DLC stuff, like, release it faster, because like, you know your fans are gonna beat the game in like a week.
Probably depends on the genre. Like, obviously, if you're doing RPG, you have way too much time on your hand if you beat everything in an RPG. But if it's like a shooter game, there's not much you could really do in a shooter game. You probably would have to release DLC or updates. I don't know.
Yeah.
It would depend. If I'm paying $10 for a DLC, it better be worth $10. Sometimes they release stuff and it's like, what, a 10-minute DLC? Like, what? This was $10 for 10 minutes? Like, what the hell?
Well, I mean, like, if you just make your content worth it, because like I know like people give Fortnite crap like here and there, but I mean like Fortnite and Apex, like they still have people playing the games. Why? Because like they have the season pass. Like every season is only a couple months, but like it gives you your money's worth of gameplay. And it's like, because the games themselves people already like, it's like, yeah, you just keep getting your fans to come back. Or say someone takes a break and they're like, oh wait, freak, like this character I like is coming in, and then they come back. So it's like they keep the people wanting to come back. So like with that, I'm like, see, like how long have those games been around and like they still have a bunch of people playing?
Yeah, I mean, well, and it also depends on your audience. I mean, Fortnite caters to like a mainstream audience. So obviously, if you keep catering to them, it's pretty much that's easy money. It's a smart business decision, whether you like or dislike Fortnite. They do a lot of business tactics, whether they're good or bad. I mean, they got good and predatory ones bad too. I mean, they are making you spend a lot of money. It is quite a bit of money for a skin. I mean, $20 for a skin, I think that's pretty much the average. It could have changed. That's still quite a bit for a skin.
But I mean, like, given that it's like a free game, like they've made a bunch of money,
yeah,
like,
I mean,
just from things like that.
Yeah, pretty much. They make quite a bit. It's pretty ridiculous, but I mean,
well, because I know
if your main audience is what, kids, the teenagers, it's pretty much, what is it, rated T? I think, right? No, it's rated E. I don't know. But your main
yeah, I think it's E.
Kids, either kid, I don't know. Well, not I say kids, but I have no idea. Whoever your main audience is, you're trying to keep them on there to keep playing because they want costumes and stuff.
Well, it's funny because like I think they say it's more for kids, but like you know like teenagers and like adults are playing that game now.
Yeah, they have like Doom characters from M-rated games. They have to have at least teenagers on there.
Yeah, because like they know that, like, yeah, they know the people that say they don't play the game are actually playing it, because it's like,
yeah, they have Doom guy. Yeah, they wouldn't have added Doom Guy or Dead Space, Isaac Clarke. They wouldn't have added those characters if someone within the teen to adult age group wasn't there.
Yeah. Well, because I know recently their stuff has changed a little bit. Because like I know the V-Bucks changed like a while ago, where it's like now you get less for
that's pretty dumb that they did that. They're pretty much gonna, well, I don't know, but I could be wrong, but I would assume that would have them lose money, but I could be wrong.
I think they did for like a bit, but yeah, because like I think that decision was dumb, and then I know
didn't they change how much it costs for a battle pass now too? They also made it worth more now, which is pretty dumb.
Yeah, I think they just barely started it, because before it used to be that if you played the whole season of the battle pass, you got like you just got to 100, because now they have where you can get like 200 and you get the bonus stuff. But if you just made it to 100, I think you accumulated enough V-Bucks in order to buy the next battle pass, so you didn't have to pay anything. Like it's like you just like made that from the game. But I think now they upped it where it's like I think you have to get to level 120 in the battle pass in order to do the same thing. So like I don't know, because like it's like, oh, then they want people to like try and like play more, so they do the bonus stuff. Yeah, but then it's also kind of like, what the heck, like now I have to play even longer. I mean, unless I want to pay.
You guys might not want to hear this, guys listen to podcasts, but I used to be a big Fortnite player. So was Mars. We were really big into it a couple of years back.
let's
And
just say
I know, yeah, I know. Yeah, let's just say I'm not proud of the stuff I got.
no, let's just say that Boredom could have been a millionaire if he didn't play Fortnite. I'm just kidding.
I don't know. It probably wasn't that bad, but yeah, I probably it wasn't
Well, like,
smart.
yeah, I know I've spent, like, I have no idea how much I spent on that game, but yeah, I just
for that
remember,
quick,
like,
oh, I need this skin when you really don't.
yeah. Well, because even when you try to, like, cut back, it's like, oh, like, yeah, I won't pay anything, I'll just play the game, and then they release something you really want, and you're like, dang it. Because I remember, like, I stopped playing for a while.
You don't even need the skin, but you just think you need it. That's how they trick you.
Yeah, because I stopped playing.
Like, the skin literally does nothing in the game.
Yeah, I stopped playing for a while, and then I started getting back into it when what the heck were they doing? I think it was because this is chapter 5 or something. I don't know, whatever chapter, like whatever.
I don't know what chapter they're on now, but when they did the one with Zeus, those skins were pretty lame. I didn't actually play.
Oh yeah, because I think they're just like, I think they're ending the Zeus one, but it's like, because how this is like, it's like season whatever, chapter like 3 or something. So I think it was this latest season that they did, or maybe the end of the one before. But like I remember like that I started playing again because of something, and then I was like, oh my god, I'm just gonna play
the Dragon Ball Z era.
No, I think I missed that one, but cause yeah, I forget who was there when I first started playing, but I was just like, oh, I'm like, yeah, I'll just start playing again, and like, that's it, like, I'm not gonna buy stuff. And then they released a Venom skin, and it looked really cool, and I was like, dang it, and I'm like, alright, I'm gonna buy this, and like, I still really like that skin, so like, I don't feel bad about spending like $20 on it, but I was like, what the fuck, they got me to spend money again.
They got you.
Yeah. And then when they did like all the Eminem skins, because they had like Slim Shady, Eminem, I think Marshall Mathers or whatever, or Marshall Nevermore or something.
About that. I was actually tempted to buy that, but they actually ended it before I went home from work, and I was like, I was so glad I didn't waste money on that. I was definitely gonna buy all those skins.
Well, yeah, like that one, like the only reason I bought it is because if you have the Slim Shady skin and you have the Slim Shady emote, like he's the only one that can talk, like when
the real Slim Shady song.
Yeah, for the real Slim Shady. Like if anyone else does the emote, like they're not like speaking the words, like it's because it's like, oh, like they're not the real Slim Shady, like only the real one can like do it. Where I'm like, all right, I'm like, I want it just for that. So that's why I got all of them. But they had it in bundles, and I think I had like extra V-Bucks left over, so like I didn't have to spend that much money.
I think putting it in bundles is probably the smarter business too, because people usually won't spend $20 on a skin, but if you give them skins with some V-Bucks and like a couple of skins with $20 or $30, people are more likely to buy that.
Yeah.
I could be wrong. I mean, this could be me talking out of my butt. But... So pretty much in to sound smart, in retrospect, that's probably not even the way I'm using that word. Your main focus is pretty much games and comics. I think it's pretty much the gist of what we got.
Yeah. Oh well, and then I mean, like I'll read manga too. I need to catch up with my manga. Recently, I've gotten into collecting the Masters of the Universe figures. They're really fun. I almost have all of the Turtles of Grayskull guys, because like that's what I've been spending like my money on recently, like the He-Man guys. And
I know, guys, when you break into his house, steal his toys. No, I'm just kidding.
Messed up. No, it's funny. I blame people that you know for me starting to collect the He-Mans, because at first I was like,
whoa. Whoa, pointy fingers, huh?
because at first, I mean, like I saw some and I was like, oh, I'm like, yeah, that's cool, but I'm like, I'm like, oh, I'm not really gonna get into them. And then I think the Turtles of Grayskull, where it's like the He-Man mixed with the Ninja Turtles, like that's what first started me getting into that one. And then after that, then like I was looking more into the normal He-Man guys, and I'm like, all right, I'm like, these guys are pretty cool. And I'm like, no, I'm gonna buy them. And I'm like, it's all your fault. I'm like, the people, some of the people you know, I'm like, they collected them, and then I got interested.
They brainwashed Mars.
Is that, well, I mean, like the toys are really cool.
They's got him.
Yeah. Because I mean, like, just today I just bought, like, well, I guess I have to wait for it to ship, but I just bought Extendar, because he's the like night looking guy that like his body extends and he like gets really tall. Because him, like, he was the Mattel Creations one, so I had to wait for them to release him at a certain time on a certain day, because if I don't buy him right then people like, they sell out, and then people sell them, because like he was a $20 guy, but then people sell them for like $50 or more, even though he was originally $20. So I'm like, no, I'm not doing that. Because that, like, there's a, I found most of the Mattel exclusive ones, like, just searching around like different places, where like I found like half of, like, obviously they're more than what they were when they originally came out, but I found, because I think there's like 10 in total now, so I found like half of them for, you know, a pretty decent price. So I'm still just like slowly like building my collection, and I'll buy them. But there's a few where like I'm like, what? I'm like, dude, I'm not paying like freaking $80 for a $20 toy. And it's funny because like there was this one, so like I got pissed because I think he was one of the first ones to come out. Like his name's Rokon, where he's the He-Man guy that like he looks like a rock, and he can kind of transform and looks like he looks like rocks or whatever when you like fold him up. So I found him on, because like, yeah, so normal price, he was originally like $20. I found him on eBay for I think like 40, I think it was like 45 with tax or something, or tax and shipping. So like I bought it from the guy, and then like it said, it's like, oh, it's like, yeah, it will ship like in a couple days. And then when it was gonna ship, like that's when it was gonna take my money. So I go, I'm waiting, and then the day it's supposed to ship, like, then I get an email, and it's like, oh, it's like, yeah, sorry, we canceled your order. And I'm like, what? Like, what the freak? Like, why'd you cancel my order? And then the description, the guy says, it's like, oh, it's like, yeah, we either didn't have the product or it was damaged. And I'm like, then why the freak did you like have it for sale if you either didn't have it or it was damaged? And then like, so he took my money that day, and then I think it was like the next day, like, then it like gave me my money back since I used PayPal. But I was like, dude, what the freak? I'm like, I bought this because I wanted it, not for you to turn around and say, oh, sorry, we don't have it, or oh, it's damaged.
Lucky you didn't get your money taken. You just didn't get
well, that's why, like, especially with eBay, that's why I use PayPal, because like I know like I'm always gonna get my money back with PayPal. Because I mean, like, with because like Amazon I can trust more. So like that one I don't have to use PayPal, but then like when I do like online shopping too, I usually use PayPal, like, just to be safe. But so far I'm like, what the heck, messed up. Then, well, I guess that's like kind of my interest for the most part.
Pretty much. Main interest. It's not. Yeah, definitely not a crazy interest. You only went to almost an hour.
What do you mean? I have expensive taste. No, I'm just kidding.
Dang, this guy probably goes to Olive Garden just for the bread.
I mean, the bread is pretty good. No, I haven't been there in a while. I actually want to go again. But
oh, rich guy.
What is it? Dude, rich guy, I gotta save my money if we can get a coupon or something. I'll go ahead and spend.
Yeah.
I'm spending all my money. Yeah, I'm spending all my money on toys. I can't afford food.
Like, I'll just eat the toys if I have to. Come on.
Yeah, it's either I eat or I buy a toy. Which one? No, I'm just kidding. No, it's not that bad, chat. I'm just kidding. I can afford food.
He's lying. I see this house. He's only got.
Lies.
He's like, I gotta use. I gotta wipe my butt, but that means I have to open this toy to do it. I don't know if I have the strength to do it.
Yeah.
I can just imagine some poor dude spending so much money in his house on toys just surrounded by him. And he starts crying as he opens a collectible because he needs toilet paper to wipe his butt.
Yeah. No, it reminds me.
The tears are going down.
No, you know the Accountant, the movie with Ben Affleck. Yeah. So you know how in his little bunker thing he has like all the random different money and like paintings and crap, and then he opens up the one drawer and it's like these rare comic books. He's like that guy. He's like, oh, all right, gotta pay my bills. Let me sell this.
Yeah, I guess I'll just sell this one. It'll pay my bill for 2 months, 3 months.
Yeah. He's like, then I'll be good.
Pretty much keep it in a safe.
Exactly. Then what else? I mean, I'm the oldest in my family. I have 3 younger siblings. They're all girls. So I guess that's interesting. And then
who cares about women? We don't care about that.
All right, so guys, we're gonna end the stream. No, I'm just kidding. No, but then what is it? I have some pets. So just so you know, chat. So I mean, I do like dogs and cats. I just happen to have only cats because the dogs that we did have sadly passed away. But I currently have 3 cats. We had 4, but then one got sick. The next oldest one in line, she's kind of getting close, so we'll see what happens in like the next year or so.
Jeez,
and then
just drop a sad bomb, why don't you? God, dude.
Well, the other 2 we have are young and they're happy, so like those that
oldest one, fuck them. Let them die.
No, she's freaking senile. The oldest one, like she just walks around like she just stares at nothing. It's like I don't know if she's going blind or what, but like she just does weird stuff. Or like if you're like sitting down somewhere. Like if you're sitting on the couch, she'll just like walk up and like look over at you. And like our couch is like pretty big. Like you can fit like 3 people on the couch. So it's like you could just be sitting on the couch by yourself. She'll jump up on the couch and sit like right next to you. And I'm like, what? Like get out of the way. I'm like, let me breathe.
Cat just wants to cuddle, man.
Yeah, I know, and then it's funny because then she'll look over, she's like, what the heck? And I'm like, okay, I'm sorry.
Dang. Cuddle
well, yeah,
so every night.
Yeah, so I have 3 cats. But yeah, the oldest one, she's senile. That's Waffle. Then we have Venom.
That's just her main perk. She's crazy.
Yeah. Then we have Venom, the black cat. Like that's why he's called Venom. Well, he's black, and then he has a little white spot, so black and white, that's Venom. Just like the character. And then he's I don't know, he's just like a derpy cat, like he just does weird things every so often.
He's almost like the orange cat meme.
Almost. He's not quite as dumb as an orange cat, but like some of the things he does are questionable. And then then we have Whiskers. So she's like a little younger than, like I think she's like maybe a year or 2 younger than Venom, because we just found her in our garage. And then what is it? Because I think she's
pretty much like a stray cat you took over.
Yeah, and but by the way she acts, like you can tell she's a cat from the streets. But she's like a, because Waffle looks like a soccer ball because she's black and white, like an actual soccer ball. Venom's like 99% black, and then he has like a little white spot. And then Whiskers, I think she's technically like a turquoise cat or something. That's what they're called, because she's like brown with like, I guess brownish orange with like black. But yeah, you can tell she's like a street cat. She goes around, freaking eats grasshoppers, like weird stuff like that.
What the heck?
Venom tries to be feral like her, but he only does it to a point because he's a domesticated cat. Well, I mean, like he goes outside like her, but like he's more domesticated than she is, just because she was like living on the streets.
Like pretty much literally living on the streets before you found her.
Yeah.
How'd she end up in your garage then? That's interesting.
I think just because I think like it was around like winter time, so I don't know if maybe she's just like, oh, like yeah, this is like a warm place and it protects me from the elements. Because at first, like when we found her, like we just gave her food every so often because we're like, oh, it's like she's not.
You weren't sure if she was attacking or something.
Yeah, because like since sometimes like street cats are mean, so like we would just leave food and stuff, and then like it took a little bit for her to actually like come up to us because like she was kind of like, well, like I know you give me food, but who are you? And then when what is it? We finally like when we did decide like, oh yeah, like we'll just keep her. Like for like we had to go like check around different because I think like
hospitals.
Yeah, I think we took her to like the vet or something to check to see like if she had an owner or anything like that, because it's like, yeah, like she's someone else's cat, like we're not just gonna steal her. But then like no one claimed her, and they're like, yeah, like she doesn't have like a chip or anything, so we're like, okay, cool, like we'll get her shots and stuff, and then we're good to go.
That's pretty cool. Got a free pet. You didn't have to pay money for it.
Well, I mean, other than the shots, but.
Oh yeah, I guess, but that doesn't equal.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure the shots could probably were cheaper than how much you paid for a cat.
Yeah, I think so.
Oh.
Yeah.
I mean, you probably grew up with these cats then, right?
Yeah, because I've grown up with like pets forever, because like was it my very first pet I think was our dog Snowy, because she was a lab.
Yeah.
And then we got Gizmo, who like he's the cat that like passed away I guess not too recently, it was like back in like around December or something. But he was like a farm cat, because like
that's pretty
my
cool.
my dad had a friend that like he lived on, well, I guess like he had a farm. So like I think like that's why, because like I think compared to normal cats, like that's why Gizmo lived so long, because like I think he was like 18 or something. Man. So like I don't know how old that is in cat years, but like him, like yeah, he just got like really old. Snowy got sick. We had another like Chihuahua for a little bit, but then like he just got adopted. And then because like Waffle I know is younger than Gizmo by like a bit, because I think she's like 14 maybe. So like yeah, she's getting up there. And then what is it? We had another dog, Daisy, and she was an Old English Bulldog. And her like, what was it? I think she was like 7 or 8, something like that. Where it's like she probably could have lived a little longer, but like one day she just had like, I think she had like a seizure or something, because then like after that like her back legs like, well I guess it's like it's like a thing among that breed. I guess they're just more likely to have
when
it.
They're older, I guess.
Yeah, I think it's like more likely when they're older too. But like because of that, like then like she couldn't use her back legs anymore. Like she I don't know, like she just couldn't walk on them. And then so then like trying to take her to the bathroom and stuff, but then like she just wouldn't eat and different things anymore. So we're like, yeah, like if like that like whatever happened, like it messed with her. So then like we had to take her to the vet, I guess. But then like the other animals are okay.
We get the idea. We get the
idea. Yeah. Because like her like I think out of all of them, hers was like, I guess
the worst one.
more sudden. Yeah, I guess. Because the other two, like they were older anyways. But it's like her, it's like, oh, like it could have, like she could have probably lived like a little longer if that didn't happen. But it's just among that dog breed, it can happen where it's like, dang, like yeah, it sucks that it did.
I mean, what can you do? It's life.
Yeah,
Life's crazy like that.
exactly.
I mean, that's usually.
But we still.
Or go ahead.
Oh yeah, but we still have our other pets, so we're chilling.
I mean, usually with life like that, that's usually why people, because of how crazy life can be, that's why they usually turn to like either spirituality or religion or some kind of belief. I mean, would you say you're part of that? Would you say you're like religious, spiritual, any kind of thing like that? I mean, are you part of that group or genre, I guess?
Yeah. Well, so like, I didn't come to religion like in that aspect, I guess, where like how people like come from it. Well, it's like, well, like how people like, oh, like a death in the family or different things happen where like they'll turn to religion because of like stuff like that. Like like me personally, I just grew up into it, and that's like how I started like, I guess going
like
into
practicing,
religion.
I guess would be the word.
Yeah. So yeah, I just grew up into it.
So because I know there's a notable difference when you see people who either grew up into it or came into it when they're older. Mm-hmm. Would that mean that you were more? Did you? How do I word this carefully? Were you more questionable about it, or were you kind of just like, oh, okay, that makes sense?
I'd say probably like, I guess when I was younger, like, I mean, well, because obviously like kids when they're young, just in general, they don't really question a whole lot of things to begin with. Yeah. But I mean, like, yeah, I could see like, yeah, when I was younger, obviously, where it's like, oh, like some things just because I grew up like part of the religion, it's like, oh, it's like, yeah, this just makes sense. But it's like someone coming into the religion would like, obviously most people usually come into religions when they're older, so it's like, oh yeah, you're gonna have more questions and stuff. But I mean, like, as I got older too, like, I like there's been things that if it's like, oh, if I have questions and stuff, like I'll do like research and things like that, because like I've noticed that tends to be a like, well, I guess like what tends to be a trend amongst people that grow up in religion, like a lot of the times they just grow up like, oh, like, yeah, I just believe this because like so and so told me. Where I mean, like, to a point, it like that's good, because it's like obviously like when you're first learning as a kid, like that's just how kids are in general. Like they do something because someone tells them. But it's like once you get to the age of like, I guess where you start, well, I guess kind of like teenager age, because that's when everyone starts like kind of questioning everything, like, oh, like, why is this? Why is that? Like stuff like that. Where like I know the like a common thing is, yeah, people that grow up in religion, like they tend to not question stuff, and then later on in life they're like, wait, like what the heck? Where me, like as I grew up, like if I did have questions and stuff, like yeah, I would ask people, but like if like obviously everyone's not gonna know the answer to everything, so it's like I would do my own research. Like I have done my own research for different things too, because like that's the nice thing with religion in general. Like obviously like one person isn't gonna have all the answers, so it's like if you have a good, I guess, like foundation of like different things, and then if you want to know more about certain aspects, it's like, yeah, like you should look into it, you should use the different resources and stuff that you're given, because like I like most religions, a lot of people use the Bible, so it's like if you because like I mean like well, I guess yeah, so because like I'm part of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, so it's like we use the Bible too. But
in case anyone's not familiar, their main nickname is Mormons, in case anyone knows. So a lot of people don't know.
Yeah, well, I guess I can like go into that, I guess, more first. So it's like the reason why that started, because it's like, yeah, so how I was saying, most religions use the Bible, where it's like our church, like, we use the Bible as well, but we also use another book called the Book of Mormon. So it's like, since that book is different than what most religions believe, because like I don't think there's too many religions that use the Book of Mormon. Like I think the FLDS and like I think there's another one that use it too, but for the most part people just use the Bible. So it's like, oh, because this book's different, that's where the nickname kind of comes from.
Yeah.
But like just in general, like if you like, I think if you like whatever religion you're associated with, like there's usually doctrine or different books that like each religion has. So it's like, oh, like a lot of people use the Bible. Like mine, we have the Bible and the Book of Mormon. There's the Torah for like other ones. Like I don't know what every religion has, but like each one usually has their own thing. Where it's like, yeah, like I would say like obviously you should read the books and like do your own study too, because it's like each person learns differently as well. So it's like, oh, someone could say like, oh, like, hey, you should believe this part because like this is my understanding of it and this is why I do it. But then like if you read the book yourself, like obviously you can find like where that comes from, like from the doctrine. Because sometimes there are people that are like, oh, like do this because I do it, and then like sometimes necessarily it's not actually doctrine, like it's just kind of something they said where it's like, yeah, like you should read so you actually understand like if it is doctrine or not, where it comes from, and then it just helps you build like an understanding of it, because it's like you shouldn't just believe what someone tells you. I'm like, yeah, like you should research and like gain your own understanding of stuff, but that just comes with knowledge in general.
So you're telling me that you aren't one of those cuckoo Christians that are like, believe God or else. That's crazy.
Nah. I mean, like, if you choose to be like,
I'm assuming you've seen those kind of crazy people.
Yeah, I've met some people like that where it's like, yeah, everyone's free to choose like whatever they want. So it's like, if you do choose to be like that, like, okay, like, go ahead, good for you. But I mean, like, well, I mean, like, just me personally, I'm like, I want to like learn for myself, because it's like, it's a lot. Well, I guess it's like when it comes to anything, like it sticks better when you take the time to learn yourself. Like say in school, if a teacher's like, oh, hey, like you guys better learn this thing because I'm teaching you, it's like, oh yeah, like what they teach you might learn like a little bit, but it's like you take the time to actually study and like read the books or whatever, like for yourself, it's gonna stick more and have more meaning than if it's just like, oh, I just do this because someone so told me.
You're saying if you properly learn subjects, you do more than just test taking like schools tend to do. Like, oh, you learned and you forget it a year later.
Well, like, yeah, I've noticed, like, especially with school, like, there's a lot of things that, like, I learned just because, like, I had to. But because I didn't, like, fully care for it, like, I don't remember it anymore. Because, like, I think in my geography class, I think we had to learn, like, all the cities in Utah or something. And, like, I remember for the test, like, I learned it, but, like, now, like, I don't know.
Just the ones that you go to, pretty much, not every single one.
Yeah, like I don't
visit.
Yeah, because I don't remember them. Like I might remember like some random ones off the top of my head, but it's like, yeah, unless like I visit that or like I know someone that's been there or something, I'm like, yeah, like I don't know.
Yeah.
So it's like that's why you should take the time to like learn and study for yourself.
With you, I guess heavily into religion, study, and devotion, I guess would be. So it's supposed to be, I guess, in the Mormon faith, it's what, 18 years old, I guess, is the earliest to serve a mission, is what you would call it, right? Serving missions, like you go into another country or state to spread the gospel, as it were.
Yeah, well, so I believe I think it's 18 to 25 is like the range for the guys, and then the girls, like I think theirs is like just 1 year older, so I think it's 19. I don't remember if it's 19 to 25 or it's 19 to 26, but I do like know that it's a year older, because I know in the past like it used to be different, because I think the guys it used to be 19 and the girls it was like 20 or 21, but like over time it's changed. But yeah, that's what it is, because with well, I guess like a mission, I guess just the basis of it is, yeah, like what you were saying, where it's like when you reach that like age range, you well, I guess it's, you have the opportunity, because like you don't have to do it per se, but it's like if you choose to, you can go serve a mission where because like, so the guys, you're gone for 2 years. For the girls it's a year and a half, but you like, well, most people usually I guess do go to another country, but like you can just remain like within the states, because like for me, like I stay within the states, but it just depends on like wherever you're called to. But it's like, yeah, you can choose to serve a mission, you're gone for that time, you go well, I guess what is, so like within the church there's well, so I guess like the very top person obviously is God, because it's like he runs his church, but then it's like the top person here on earth is the prophet, like that's what we believe for our church, where it's like he communicates with God, and then he has his 12 apostles, which like they're also like they're what is, I guess considered prophets, seers, and revelators. So like they if the prophet were to die, they have that authority and power like for them to become the next prophet. And but then they can also can communicate with God and receive like revelation, or I guess guidance from him. And it's though like, and then there's like other people within that, because then there's like the 70, which like they have their own power and authority. And then because like how the prophet, like he, like him and the apostles, I guess the prophet's in charge of like the whole church, like under God. And then you have the 12 apostles, which it's like each apostle kind of has their own region within the world that they kind of cover. And then within the 70, like each of those people have a region that they cover that's smaller than the regions that the 12 apostles cover. And then I believe it's the stake presidents. So it's like, I guess how it works. So it's like you like, I guess from the bottom. So it's like you have the individual, and then when you get a group of people, like they make up a ward, which is like a group of people that meets and like goes to the church. And then within that ward, each ward has a bishop, which the bishop, like he's in charge of the people within that ward. And then there's the stake president, which within like he's in charge of like a group of wards. So like that's what makes up a stake, because it's usually I think like 5 to 10 wards like make up a stake. And then after that, then it's like, then you have the 70, which like then they cover like so many stakes, and then it grows, like goes up to the top. But it's like each person has. Oh.
No, go ahead. Sorry.
There's a thing. It says there is not sufficient disk space to continue recording. So
go ahead and press stop recording.
No. Well, I think it just ended. Should I try pressing?
Yeah, should I start? Give me a second. We're gonna take a 5-minute segment. When I say we're back, I'm gonna have to go back to my editing. Oh,
okay. What the heck? Oh. Oh no. Hello.
Did you press recording? Yes, now.
Yeah, it says stop recording, so it's recording.
Okay, we're back.
All
probably
right.
just recap it because you were
Yeah,
talking
so,
about the stake president. I guess just start with that.
Yeah. So yeah, the stake president, like he's in charge of so many wards, which like I believe it's 5 to 10. Like, but I think it depends on like how many wards there are, like where the stake president's at. But then after that, then it's like the 70s in charge of so many stakes, and then like so on and so forth. But it's like that's kind of how the organization of the like my church is. Where like if you choose to serve a mission, like what you would do first is you would talk to your bishop, like just saying, oh hey, I have interest in like serving a mission, and then he would have an interview with you, because there's what is it? Well, I guess like just an interview to see like if you're worthy of going on a mission, because there's like
so it's not just willy-nilly, oh we'll just send you just cuz, kind of process. They don't just send you just cuz, I guess.
No, because yeah, just like with it being like with you being away a year and a half or like 2 years, like that's a big thing. So it's like, yeah, you have to choose to do it. So
has there ever been, well, I don't know if you know anyone or if you've heard, has there been people who have been rejected to go? Like, how does that work? How would you be rejected exactly?
I think the biggest thing usually is just I think it's more mentally, if there's any kind of issues you might have mentally that might stop you from going, because like I know in some aspects your physical well-being like can come into play, because it's like as a missionary, like you are out and about like most of the day, so it's like if you can't keep up with that, like then it might be that. But it's mostly like just mental health, because it's like obviously you're not gonna you're gonna be away from your family for a long time, like you're gonna go out and do, I guess, like leave your comfort zone, so you're not gonna be doing things that you would normally be doing, I guess, like if you weren't a missionary. So it's like they want to make sure that like when they do send people out, that like they're going to be okay, like you're not gonna have like a breakdown. Because like even then there have been some people that like they well, I guess like pass the interview, I guess, with the bishop, because like the main thing with the interview is like, yeah, check like seeing your mental health, like if you're physically able to go, and then like if you're following like church standards. And then the same thing, like then you have the same type of interview with your stake president, and then after that, that's when you start the process of going on a mission. Because like I think in the past, I think it used to be like physical paper, but now since we have technology, like you have like a checklist of different things that you have to get done like online before, because like you have to get a physical, you have to like have what is it? Yeah, like a physical, you have to, I think you have to have like certain like I think you have to have like a tetanus shot, like just in case, like because like if you go to like a third world country, like different stuff like that. And then then I think like also you have to have like I guess have resources for.
I would just explain that what you had in your process of like a January, since you kind of have like, well, I mean, it makes more sense if you just explain your own process, because I mean,
yeah, oh yeah, I guess so, it makes more sense. So it's like, so I had those two. Well, yeah, so like I decided, I wanted to go. With me personally, like I went, I believe when I was 19. Because so one of the things is like when you do go on a mission, like it doesn't matter like where you go, but one of the things that is required is like if you have braces, you need to have your braces like off before you can go on a mission, because like because like depending where you go, like even if like since I'm from like the United States, like even though I went to California, like different places do different things when it comes to the dental procedure. So it's like they don't want problems to occur, like if you had braces. So it's like, oh, like just wait till you get your braces off, and then then you can submit your paperwork.
Like they would do a bad job or hurt your mouth or something. I've never heard. That's interesting.
Well, like it's just because like not everywhere in the world has the same procedures. Even within the United States, like not every place does it the same. So they're like, oh, like if you do have braces, like you just like you need to get it like finished, I guess, before you can go. Like just so you don't have to worry about that in case something were to happen. So like that was part of the reason why I had to wait. Because like I mean like I just waited a little bit in general, but then like that like was another aspect. But then like once my braces are off, that's when I met with my bishop, had the interview, met with my stake president, had the interview, and then I started the process of the paperwork. Where I had to get like a physical, get a couple shots, and then like another big thing is just I guess like paying for your mission, because that's another reason why it's an optional thing, because like you pay for your mission, like to be out there. Like there's a set amount of money that like you have to pay, because I mean like given like if you want to serve and you don't have the resources, like the church can help you, or like family, friends, stuff like that. But like when you're filling out your paperwork, like they just need to know kind of where that income going, or I guess where that money is going to be coming from, like for your mission specifically.
So you pay for the 2 years is what you're saying?
I pay.
I guess you have to fill out the application if you're able to financially support it, I guess, right? Is what you're saying?
Yeah, because I mean, like, I paid part of it because it's like my parents did help like with a lot of it, and then there were people like within my ward that helped as well. But like, with that, like
voluntarily,
you
or is it kind of part of the process?
No. If people want to help, what is it? Well, I think most religions have this. So there's a thing called tithing that we believe in with our religion, where it's like
okay. You kind of like the Catholic and their basket thing kind of thing.
Yeah, where with so our religion is a similar concept where it's like you pay a percentage of like your income, but like for like when you're paying tithing, there's a specific section that you can choose where it's like I want my tithing to go to the missionaries of like just the mission, or I guess the missionary fund in general. So then it's like when your tithe is collected, then like the bishop, like he'll distribute it like evenly amongst like the missionaries within that ward.
Interesting.
But with that too, like you're not forced into it. Like I guess just, like giving tithing in general, like it's like you willingly choose to do it, and you choose like where it goes, like in the ward. So like that's like I got a little support with that, and then but so after you do all that, then you submit your missionary paperwork to the church headquarters, which like that's here in Utah. And then once it gets sent there, then the prophet and the 12 apostles, they actually like review each of the individual ones, and then so it's like
there's gotta be like hundreds, if not more, applications that go through that process.
It takes a while, because like most of the time, like when when they're at like the church office building, like that's usually what they're doing most of the time. Like they're just looking at missionary applications and stuff.
That'd be like a whole day process. That has to be exhausting mentally.
Yeah, but like that, but like that's where it goes. So it goes to them, and then I believe it's. Let's see, it's. I think it's the prophet. Well, so like all of them look through it, and then like they pray and seek revelation like from God, kind of to see like, oh, where should this person go, and then I believe it comes down to like the apostles. They all kind of like do their input like from what they received, but then I think like then it's the prophet and his 2 counselors. Like then they go and they do their input, and then I think the final say is from, like, I think it's within those 3, like the prophet and his 2 counselors. And then like after that, then they go and they send you like a letter, because it used to be like you got a letter in the mail, but like now same thing, because it's digital, they just send you an email and it tells you, it's like, oh, congratulations, you were like, you're going to serve here.
Is it possible for each of them to have a different answer, or is it kind of a unison kind of?
No, well, because I think like that's part of the process. Like they always aren't, they don't always have the a united vote, so that's why they'll like pray
like discuss it and stuff.
Yeah, pray and discuss
and pray, bro.
Yeah. Well, and then even then too, there's been times where it's like they're in agreement of where someone should go, and then last minute, like they receive a revelation where it's like, oh no, actually they should go here instead.
Interesting.
So yeah, like it's this like amazing process, but with that, so then they finally go, they tell you where you're going, because like with mine, well, because I guess like when you submit it, you tell them like an availability date, kind of. It's like, oh, by this time I'll be available to go on my mission. So like then that factors into, I guess, like the process of like how long it takes, because it's like if you're like, oh, I can go in like 6 months or something, like then they're gonna take a little bit long. Oh, I guess then you're like lower on the list for who they're like looking through, compared to the person that's like, oh, I can leave in like a month. Yeah. But then after they say where you're going, then like they give you a date too, like when you're leaving, because the first thing you do is you go to this thing called the MTC. It's the Missionary Training Center. So with like normally missionaries, what like in the past what it would be is they would go to this training center for, I think it's between 6 to 9 weeks, and that's like where you start learning, like, I guess what you would do as a missionary, like how to teach people, the different lessons that are taught, like to kind of like simplify, I guess, like the doctrine of our church. Because like if you just go up to someone and like give your whole spiel of the church, like it's kind of hard to follow, because like you can't, like, because people tend to jumble their words and like ideas, where it's like in the MTC you learn how to, I guess, kind of categorize different aspects of our religion, so it's like easy to understand for new people, and then like it's easy for you to like teach it too, so it's not just like, oh, so we have like a prophet, and then then we go to this and that, like, so it's like more organized. And then also like if you're learning a new language, like that, because that's usually why like the people will go the 9 weeks, because like, well, I guess it depends on the language, because like I think if you're learning Mandarin, like that one's 9 weeks, because that's a really hard language. But other languages, depending on their difficulty too, like it varies. But with my experience of the MTC, because it was like during COVID, well, like we did it kind of.
So wait, what year did you go? I didn't really ask you that. What year was around this time?
It was February of 2021.
Oh yeah, so was it 2020 or 2021? We kind of had the whole COVID shutdown experience, right? It was like 2-3 years of a process, maybe a little more.
Well, I think it officially started at the end of 2019, because that's why it's like COVID-19. But yeah, 2021, like it was still, I guess, like it was closer to the end of COVID, but it was still like a bigger thing around then.
So that has to be, so that would be, so because you're already familiar with, like, you know, wearing your masks, hand sanitizer, 6 feet. Was that, so you're telling, so I'm guessing you're going to go into the story of like your experience, that it's a little different, I guess, than maybe I'm guessing the way it typically was, it's way different because of the whole code thing. Is that what you were going to get into?
Yeah, because like normally how you, like the missionaries would go to the MTC, So with my experience, because like of COVID, the MTCs were shut down at that time. So they were starting a new thing called like I guess remote MTC. So like we would do what you would typically do in the what you would typically do in the normal MTC, but like just virtually, because like we just use Zoom.
Yeah.
And with that, because I know like with my group, our like, because I was in the MTC for 6 weeks, so like our group the whole time we did remote learning, because like our teachers were in Mexico, so like we had to go off of like Mexico time, but whenever we would have our I think it's like an hour ahead or an hour behind of what Utah time is. And then when we had, well, it's because since the like we would like if we had gone to the MTC like we were supposed to, if it wasn't closed, we would have gone to Mexico. So like that's the time zone we would have been in.
Oh, so it's like MTC was gonna be in Mexico if you flew there, I guess, or flew or drove.
Yeah.
Okay.
But since that one specifically, like since they were all closed, like our teachers like were there, because since they're teachers in Mexico, so like we would go based off of their time zone for the classes. So it's like throughout the day, like we had a morning class and then an afternoon class, and then in between like you could have like take your meals, like study different stuff like that. So that was our experience. Like we did that the whole 6 weeks. And since my mission was it's the official name, the California Los Angeles mission, and then since I was Spanish speaking like for that one, so like that's why we were learning Spanish, because like I know English speaking missionaries for that specific mission, they only did MTC for 4 weeks, but since we were learning Spanish, we did it for 6. And I know
you're in LA, which typically has like a bilingual type of area, right?
Yeah. Which I know now they with the MTC they do both. So it's like you'll do like half the MTC online and then half you'll go to the actual training center now. Just because like during the pandemic, like they learned, we don't just need to have you like at the facility, I guess, the whole time. It's like doing the online training, like because of the pandemic, like it helped us to learn like like using both is really good. So it's like the missionaries should do both like when they're learning.
Wouldn't that offer a lot of distractions though? Because I mean, if you're doing it remotely, couldn't you easily get distracted because you're not really focused because you have the outside, factors?
Well, yeah, I know that was a I guess a problem with some people, but when we did it, they told us, they're like, hey, like once you start the MTC, like you're supposed to kind of pretend like you're not there, I guess, like the rest of your family, like whoever you live with is kind of, because like you need to go like into a separate room and you're just kind of like in your room, like away, well, like while you're having your lessons, like once you like when you're not having your class, like you can go like talk with your family and stuff.
Yeah.
But it's like during the lessons, it's like you need to like focus on that. So it's like close your door, make sure you're not being bothered. Like some people, if they didn't have access to like a private area within their house, like they could go to the church and like do their class there, like just in one of the rooms. But it's like you should kind of like any distractions that you could have, like potentially have, like kind of get rid of them while you're in class.
So you said you did it for 6 weeks, is what you said?
Yeah.
So
and then
so you were indoor for 6 weeks and then you flew right after the 6 weeks, or how did that work?
Yeah, because it was after we did the 6 weeks, I believe it was the next day that like I packed up my stuff and then I flew that next morning to California, which I mean like it's not that far like from Utah, but that's when we flew in. And then when you're on your mission, like you have the mission president, and then the mission president like Oh, because like it's a couple, so the mission president and his wife, like they're in charge of, like, there's the mission president and wife in charge of each mission. So it's like when I flew out to California, like I got picked up with the other missionaries that went with me, because not all of us went to California, like even though we were all Spanish speaking, like some went to different areas, but just our class, like because we were all learning Spanish, like they had us together. Because I think there was 3 of us. Like it was me, my MTC companion, which like, or I guess getting in that. So like when you're a missionary, you always have a companion with you. So it's like the guy missionaries or the elders, they always have another elder with them that like you two like go out and you're like sharing the gospel together. Like you're always together. Which I mean, like, given to a point, like, you're not gonna go to the bathroom together, or, like, shower together, or, like, sleep on the same bed. That's kind of weird.
That's just called being homosexual, bro.
I guess, no. But then it's same with the sister missionaries, or like, the girl missionaries.
Same thing.
Yeah. So then, like, when we were online...
Really asked, was it... I guess normally... Is it a co-ed thing or is it kind of separate?
I think the MTC I believe is separate. So it's like the guys and girls go to the same building, but there's like a guy area like where they sleep and stuff, and then a girl area where they like sleep and stuff. But then like you can interact like during the day and all that. But yeah, so like my MTC companion, like, because I think there was 12 in our group, so it's like we were all divided up into like pairs. So that's why like me and my companion, we went to the same mission, and then one of the sister missionaries in our class, like she went to the same mission as us. So then like we flew out to LA, we got there, then at the airport we met the mission president and his wife, and the the assistants. So it's like or I guess so when you're on your mission, like there's different, I guess, kind of roles that each missionary has. So usually like just the basic one, like when you're in your companionship, like there's a senior companion and a junior companion, where the senior companion like just tends to know the area better, or they've been there a little longer than you have, and the junior companion's usually like the new one. So like they're new to the area. And then there's also there's trainers, which like when you first get to the mission, like your first companion will be your trainer. So like because it's like you learned how to do stuff in the MTC, but I mean like learning stuff in the MTC and actually going out in the field is a little different. So the trainer's there to help you like learn as you go, like the basics. And then there's the district leader, which I guess so the mission itself is divided into zones, and each zone has 2 missionaries. So like the zone leaders are the 2 elder missionary, like they're 2 elders, and they're chosen to like kind of help the missionaries within their zone. And there's the STLs, which they're like, it stands for sister training leaders, and they're the 2 sister missionaries that like they're the same as the zone leaders, but just for like the sisters, because like they're in charge of the whole zone. But like their main focus more is like they focus more on the sisters within the zone, the elders focus more on the elders in the zone. And then there's the district leader, which each zone usually has like so many missionaries. So the district leader, like they're in charge of like so many sets of missionaries. So I think it's usually like 3 to 4 pairs of missionaries. And then the assistants, what they do is they're usually with the mission president and his wife and they help kind of like I guess take care of the whole mission. Like So it's like, oh, they'll talk with the zone leaders and sister training leaders and like missionaries and like or district leaders, individual missionaries, like stuff like that, just to like help make sure like everyone's doing okay and like see like if they do need help, like how to help. But it's like how it kind of goes up. So it's like you have the individual missionaries and your companion, then the district leaders, zone leaders, sister training leaders, assistants, and then like the mission president and his wife. But with that, yeah, so like the when we were first picked up, like the mission president and his wife were there and the assistants, and I think there was a couple senior missionaries. So not every mission has them, but like how I was saying, like when you go on a mission, like you're between the age of like 18 to like 25.
Yeah.
So it's like they're like you when you're older and you're like a senior and you're like retired and stuff, you have the opportunity that you can go on a mission like with your spouse when you're like old and retired. And that's like what the senior missionaries are, which like them they have different functions than the younger missionaries, because the young missionaries, their thing is more proselyting. So we go out and we share the gospel to like different people, like we go like I guess on foot visiting people. Where the senior missionaries, like there can be one that's in charge of like the vehicles, so they like divvy out like who like the mission like who. Yeah. Oh, I guess so with that. So like, the difference. So depending on the mission, like some missions you have a car, and some are by like you have a bike. Some are walking, or like some can be a mix of everything. But it's like if you do have cars, like there's a vehicle coordinator, which is usually a senior missionary. So they'll like help divvy out like, oh, these companionships get the cars. This is what car each person has. Like. And then they take care of like car stuff, like say your car breaks down or like you have to like fix it in some way, you like your tire pops or something, they help you out. There's like there's a bike coordinator that helps you with like the bikes, like if you need it, like they help with you like get helmets or like safety gear, stuff like that. And then there's family history, like senior missionaries, where like their job is to help like I guess focus specifically on family history, like helping people learn more about their ancestors and stuff like that. But like the senior missionaries and the I guess just normal missionaries kind of have like their own different things.
Hold on, I might have got lost in the process. Is this before you even start?
Oh, this was when I first got to California. Like,
okay, I just got a little lost in the part. Sorry. So as soon as you flew to California, you had all this information, I guess, is what you're doing.
Well, so like the stuff I've been saying, like learning the different like leadership roles and stuff that people have, or like. Yeah, so like you kind of learn that as you go. Like when you first start out, it's just kind of like, whoa, like what the heck? Like I'm in a new place, so like you're just kind of getting used to going to that new place like by yourself.
When you flew to California, you went straight to that building, or they just take you to your place of living right away? I guess I should.
Well, so we went like we landed at the airport, and then. When we got picked up, we went to so this place, it's called the Mission Home, and that's where like the mission president and his wife like live. And over like when you first get there, that's where the new missionaries go to kind of get like I guess a bit more of an introduction to the mission itself. And then once you're there, you have like a little meeting, like learn more about the mission, and then each person goes and they find out who their trainer is going to be. And then once you find out who your trainer is, like then you go and you have to go find them. And once you meet your trainer, you're like, oh, like hello. Well, like, yeah, so like
scavenger. Oh, their name is Fred. I guess I gotta go all the way on the other side to find them.
Well, I mean, so like the trainers have their own meeting, like about I guess being a trainer and like how they can best help you like when you first start your mission. So it's like you're having your meeting while they're having their meeting. So it's like after you get done, like then it's like, oh, you're both in the same area. You just have to like find out. Because it's like, oh, like because it's like, oh, your trainer's so and so. So like you go when you like look for the missionary, like, oh, because it's like each missionary has a name tag. So then like you like, oh yeah, have you seen like elder so and so or sister so and so? And oh yeah, they're over here. And then like that's how you meet them. And yeah, once you meet up with your trainer, then like you just go straight into it. Like they help you get your luggage. You find out where like which area you're going to be serving in. Because so like our mission as a whole, it covers from the San Fernando Valley in California all the way down to Palos Verdes, which is like the very bottom of California, and then like the entire like I guess beach like to the ocean all the way to kind of like downtown LA, Downey, Inglewood. Like that's I guess the entirety of the mission itself. So it's like you like once you find your companion, like they tell you like which zone you'll be serving in the, because I think there was 9 zones in the mission like within that entire thing. So they're like, oh, you're in this zone, you're gonna be working in this area, and then they tell you like, oh, this is where you're gonna be living, here's the keys. Like well, because like when I first arrived, like everyone had cars because like with the pandemic, like no one could really be out and about. So like then, oh, here's your car. Like then you put your luggage in your car, and then like you're on your way to your house.
So does that mean even when you were in California, were people wearing masks, keeping 6 feet apart, even at the area where you met the shipwreck?
Yeah. So my first 6 months as a missionary, we had to wear masks at all times if we were outside. We could all like we didn't like so usually you'll live with another set of missionaries like in your house. So it's like it was me and my companion and then 2 other missionaries. So like the missionaries in your household, you like you didn't need to wear your mask when you were like with them because like you live together. But it's like, yeah, if you went outside you had to. And then when it came to, I think like, yeah, anytime we were interacting with other missionaries that weren't in our household, we had to wear a mask. Because yeah, the first 6 months, like since the pandemic was still going on in like California, how they were like really strict about stuff. So it's like most of our like missionary work was we were inside making phone calls, like calling different people that well, so I guess so like how it works, so each area they have a SIM card for your phone, and within that area like you have all the like information saved like to that SIM card for the area. So it's like there's different dots like on because we have a missionary app like that like tells you like, oh, this is your area, these are the houses, like different stuff that it covers. And each dot, like there's different colors to represent different things. So like a gray dot is someone that like they talked to the missionaries in the past, and it's like, oh, but they haven't like talked to the missionaries recently, but it's like they showed interest in the past. So it's like, oh, you can contact them like when a missionary has like talked to them, like they got their information down. Then there's a yellow dot, which is a person that they like for what they want to talk to the missionaries, like whether it's to receive like a Book of Mormon or a Bible, or they saw like a YouTube video or something that the church made that had to do with like a certain topic, like say it's about like, oh, like God loves you, or oh, your family, you can be with your family forever, like different things like that. But they're reaching out and they want to talk to the missionaries. And then there's a green dot, which that's a person that like they're called friends, because that's a person that you as a missionary, you're currently meeting with them and having lessons and teaching them about like our religion. And then there's the dark blue dots, which those are members like of the church that are within the ward that you like, in the area that you cover. And there's light blue dots, which those are members of the church that like they were taught by the missionaries and they got baptized and they're still new to the church, so they're the recent converts. And those people like it's just, well, I get like they're still learning as well, so it's like then it helps you differentiate like, oh, like this is like what we have to work with, because it's like as missionaries, you're like, we have these things called transfers. So it's every 6 weeks you have a thing called a transfer. So it's like with that transfer, you either stay in your area or you go to a new area, or like a new area or a zone, like depending on what happens, and you might get a new companion. So it's like if there is a change within your companionship when that happens, you'll go to the like you'll travel to the mission home on like a certain day, like they tell us in advance what day it's gonna be. And then like if there is a change, then you'll like, oh, you get a new companion, you'll meet them, you're going to a new area, or well, so if you're going to a new area, you don't like have to go to the mission home, because like it's still within the same zone, you're just moving to like a new house, I guess.
Yeah.
But if you're going to a new zone, like then you go like to the mission home, and then that's when you change. But it's like when you do like change around, like the SIM card will go to the new missionaries like in that area, because it's like each of us had like, we have our own phone that we like brought for the mission. But yeah, the SIM card is like it just doesn't have a SIM card, so it's like the SIM card is what you get like for the area. And yeah, I guess that's it. Like, because the SIM card helps you like understand like kind of a little basis of what your area is gonna be like.
So this is like all stuff that you would end up learning almost on the first day or the first week. That's a lot of information.
Well, yeah. So like that's why, because when you're with your trainer for 2 transfers. So it's like you're learning this stuff like during the course of what, 12 weeks. So I guess
that's kind of
like 3 months roughly.
That seems like a lot of information, or it could be overwhelming. Were you like nervous at all, or did they kind of help you through the process? Like, I mean, I'm guessing this is technically like you're literally on your own, I guess, in a way you would say. Like, you don't have family to rely on because they're back in another state. You're kind of just all on your own, kind of independent, right?
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, because like, so I know everyone has a different, but yeah, for me, like the first week, I guess, was like the hardest, just because like you are kind of just jumped in, like you jump into all this stuff. You're like, what the heck, like what's going on? Like there's so much stuff going on. But then after that, like you slowly ease into it, and like that's why like you have your trainer too, because like they're there to help you out, because like they went through the same thing when they first arrived. So it's like, oh, like they know what you're going through, so it's like they're here to help you with that process. And then like you'll have the different missionaries like that you live with, or like stuff like that they'll help you out too. Like it's like, oh, like yeah, like you need to talk or something, like then it like you get eased into it. Yeah, so with that, the first 6 months, like we were just indoors because we were making calls, like calling the different people that we had. Like, wait, so if we did have,
you weren't like kind of like how people always describe missionaries as like door-to-door salesmen. You weren't really knocking on doors or walking around.
No, yeah, that first 6 months we were inside like 90% of the time. Yeah,
wouldn't that be not to be mean, but wouldn't that be kind of boring?
No, sorry, what was that?
Wouldn't that be kind of boring, I guess? Not to be rude about it.
Yeah, at times. But I mean, like, from what I heard, about like from missionaries that had been around during COVID longer, like it had gotten better, because like when they first went out and COVID was happening, like because it was all brand new, like it was kind of strange just getting into the rhythm of like, oh yeah, how are we gonna do missionary work like just from home? Yeah. But because I was coming into like near the end of it, like they kind of had it like down for the most part. And like they what is it, like during that time too, we were like able to, what is it, because I guess they like, it's breaks, like they gave us like I think it was like 2 half-hour breaks where we could just like go and just like walk around the block or something, like just so we're not like sitting like inside all day,
like randomly, or
yeah, like just during the day, like you would just choose like, oh okay, like hey, we've been inside like 4 hours, like let's go take a walk. So it's like you can get like up and moving, so you're not just like sitting around all day. Because yeah,
go ahead.
Oh yeah, because we were like because like during the day, like you'd wake up, you do exercise in the morning, you like eat breakfast, get ready for the day, like shower, get ready for the day. We'd have like, depending on the missionary, you'd have like your personal study, you have your companion study, which like when you're a new missionary, it's a bit longer because like you're learning like with your trainer. And then if you're learning a language, you'd have language study, where it's like during each of these you're like studying different I guess different things, so like to help you out on the mission. And then like you have time for lunch, you have time for dinner, and then, well, I guess what was it, so we start our day I think 6 a.m. and then like officially like you end your day, you should be in bed by 10:30 at night. And then it's like in between like the different activity, like getting each of those activities done, then you go, you have your 2 30-minute like breaks you take, you have the different time you set aside to like call people. If when we would have lessons, because since we were stuck indoors, like we do Zoom calls. If what was I think? Well, I guess on Sundays when you had church, like you set aside time for that, because like church was 2 hours. But like with that, like we did, like it was Zoom church, like no one could go in person. Like I think it was, yeah, I think it was just, yeah, it was just all like online. But it's like, yeah, that's what we would do for the first 6 months. On what is it, every Monday, like that's it's called P Day, or preparation day, like for missionaries, where that's the day you would go, like I guess it's kind of your day off, because like you go shop, like you get your shopping done, you like do your laundry, you can, well, so what does at the beginning, like it's like you can go, I guess, like hang out with the missionaries in your apartment, like because we could go to the church and like play basketball or whatever, like just to get out and about. And then like you have that whole day until 6, and then 6 to I guess never mind, our day ended at 9, not 10, but it's like you just had to be in bed by like 10:30. But then like 6 to 9, like that day, that's like when you would, I guess, kind of get back to work and like go and like do missionary work again. But the whole day up until that time, like it's just to kind of like get ready for the next week.
I mean, all the computer stuff is what's saying, because the first 6 months. That's.
Yeah, because like, yeah, so that for like with the COVID restriction stuff, it was like we were limited on what we could do. But I mean, like the whole state of California was kind of limited on what they could do, like when it came to certain things. But then around like once the 6 months hit, like that's when they started doing like the vaccines and stuff. And
so you're telling me you were like missionary tech support is what it sounds like.
Yeah, pretty much from the beginning.
Someone called
because
you
like
up, hello, yeah, I am the religion. What do you want? Like kind of thing, I guess.
Yeah, that's pretty much how it was. Like just because like you're indoors, like you can't really go out and do that much. But luckily, like the pandemic kind of started to end, and then they started releasing like the vaccines and stuff. And I know with
I didn't even. I think I forgot to even ask. During this time that you went, did you have to get any vaccination shots before going? Like, was that legally required, or how did that work?
I think what is it? I think I just had to get my tetanus shot, and then I think like the flu shot. Yeah, I think the flu. Yeah, I think before I left. Yeah, because I know like
Okay.
depending on where you go, like sometimes if you go to other countries, like you might have to get shots, like just depending on the region. But since I was stateside, so I didn't have to like worry too much. But then once the vaccines and the restrictions for COVID were like starting to go away, so it's like you were never forced to get a vaccine like on the mission, because like the whole thing, like if you had to get vaccines like before you left, like if you didn't want to, then like you just wouldn't serve like in that area. But like when the vaccines were coming out for COVID, like they said they're like, oh, like if you choose to get the vaccine, like then we could start going out and about. Like when we were outdoors, we still wore our masks. Like necessarily we didn't have to, because since we had the vaccine, but it's like, oh, just because people might feel safer if you're walking around outside with the mask on than like if you're not. So like they'll be more likely to talk with you, I guess, like if you do go up to them. So then like with that, and then like if you got it too, like you were able to like on P Day and stuff, you would be able to hang out with all the missionaries like within your zone, not just the ones in your household. But like each of those missionaries had to get the shot as well. Like if they didn't, then well, I think if they didn't, then you couldn't hang out with them. So but like if you didn't choose to get the shot, like
that's weird.
Well, it's just because like if some people get the shot and then some people don't, like then interacting with them, like it's similar to like before the shot, because it's like, oh, like you could get sick. But then like if you didn't want to get the shots, like then you would still just like stay indoors and like do missionary work from inside. But it like if you got the shot, you could start going out and about. Like even then with that, it depended like obviously on the people you talk to. Like if they don't want you like talking to them or going to their house and stuff, then yeah, you still do like computer stuff.
So did you know anybody that chose to not take the COVID shot, I guess, during this time?
Yeah, there was a few missionaries that I knew that they didn't take it, where it's like just for that, like during that time they were still doing stuff indoors. And I think like I forget how long it was, but once California like kind of got rid of all the COVID restrictions, then it's like, oh, like yeah, if you didn't get the shot, then like because the state of California has taken away all the restrictions, like you're able to go out and about and just like talk to people, kind of like the image of what people think of missionaries, where it's like, oh, like knocking on doors, talking to people on the street, like stuff like that.
Those people eventually that chose not to do it, they were able to eventually go and walk around.
Yeah, but it was just because it was just at the time, because since California still had like certain restrictions when the vaccine was first coming out, so it's like, oh, like we can't go against like what the state says. Like if they say, oh, you can't do this like without the vaccine and stuff. So yeah, after we got the shots, then it was really nice because we didn't have to wear like masks as much, and like we could do more.
So pretty much after the 6 months is when you would say, I guess, the actual, not actual, well, how do I, like the adventure part of missionary work started.
Yeah.
You're able to like see people in public, see crazy stuff in public. You can see crazy things in public. People talking random stuff on the street.
Yeah. And then something that was really cool was like because members like of the church like since we could start meeting with them too, so it's like we could like have lessons with them, but then also because like especially especially in the Spanish wards, I noticed like because like other missionaries that like we lived with like weren't always Spanish speaking, so like they tell us too, but like the members in the Spanish wards like they really like the missionaries. Like a lot of them would go and like offer to feed us, so it's like we would plan times to go eat food with them, and then we'd share like a little message with them, or like sometimes they'd be like, oh hey, like you can come pick up food from my house, and we go like pick it up, and then like then
like,
we have like
free food.
Yeah, because they just like make it for us, or sometimes they like if they bought us food or something, like oh yeah, just like come pick it up. We're like, oh, like all right, like they
like what, they did this out of like for free?
Yeah, because like if like they like I guess they just really cared for the missionaries, so they're like yeah, we'll help you out, like you want, like if you want something to eat, because that like I know in a bunch of the wards I was in, they had a little calendar that would get passed around like during church, where like if you wanted to help feed the missionaries, like you write your name on a day and like put a time,
okay.
and then then obviously like we'd get in contact with the people. And a lot of it usually was like either eating at their house, like homemade food they made, or like they same thing homemade, and they like you just pick it up from them, because like since some of the like you couldn't like eat in restaurants and stuff, like you could get stuff to go, but you couldn't really eat in restaurants for a bit. But then like later on, sometimes like people would just take you out to lunch, like the members, like even sometimes people you would teach like would take you out there, oh hey, like you wanna, like we'll have our lesson and we go eat at like Chick-fil-A or something. It's like, oh, like all right, sure.
Oh yeah, I recall a lot of the places would let you eat indoors, so it was like slow. So it was like slowly the restaurants were opening up, I guess, during time, right?
Yeah.
So you pretty much they would get you like Carl's Jr. or something after teaching them.
Yeah, like it just depended, because it's like obviously we're not gonna be like, oh hey, like it'd be really cool if you fed us. It's like no, like if they want to, they can. If not,
you're telling me you didn't give a hint. You're like, oh man, I forgot to eat breakfast this morning, but we'll continue the lesson. Anyways, so where are we gonna take us after?
Yeah, no, yeah, we wouldn't be like do that, because it's like we like since we like pay to go on the mission, like we would receive, like we'd have so much funding like each week, like to pay for groceries and stuff like that.
What do you call it? Like think of the name right now. Like an allowance.
Yeah, because it's like since you pay so much for your mission, but it's like each like I guess like the church they divide it up like amongst the missionaries. It's like, oh, like you get so much per week, like, and then you can use it for like groceries and different stuff. And then like obviously like you could bring your own personal like card, or I guess debit card.
Like a debit card.
Yeah, because I don't think you could have a credit card, just because it's like you can't really like you couldn't really keep track of like your money, or it's like because when you're on your mission, your family like they kind of keep track of your finances, because like as missionaries, like you like when you have your phone for your mission, like there's I guess what is it? I don't know if it's considered jailbreak or what, but it's like you kind of like you have to put on like a missionary software that kind of restricts your phone, so like you only have access to certain apps and different things. Yeah, because it's like a
what is this? I never heard of this.
Yeah, because it's like well, I guess it's a newer thing, just because like missionaries didn't really have technology like for a bit, but it's like now since we have like phones and stuff, so it's like yeah, when you bring your phone for the mission, because it's like there's certain phones that you can choose from. I guess if your phone fits like the criteria, but if not, then you'd have to like buy a phone for your mission, or if you couldn't, like, if I guess you didn't have the funds for it, like the church could provide a phone for you for your mission. But it's like you had to get a phone that fit the certain criteria because, like, yeah, there was an app that you had to install like for your mission phone, because since the phone is supposed to be used like for the missionary work, so it's monitored by the church, so like that's why it was restricted, where you could only do certain things, which like for the most part was like you could just use like the missionary app that we had, like, so that we could keep track of like different people we were teaching and stuff like that. So then when like if it came to like watching YouTube or like Googling stuff like that, like if it didn't have to do with missionary work, we didn't have access to it, because like we had access to like Google Maps or something, because like to get places. But yeah, like we were just limited in certain apps, because like later they introduced a banking app for the missionary card they gave us, like I guess our allowance card, just because like each week you would get an email that said how much your balance was, but they noticed that missionaries weren't keeping track of their balance. So they're like,
I wonder. I mean, they are 18. They probably aren't, that well versed in finances.
Yeah. So it's like, just so then it's easier to know how much funds you have instead of waiting like till the end of the week where it's like, oh yeah, you're broke. Where it's like, oh no, you have this much.
You owe $200 to the church. Pay up.
Yeah. Well, so the nice thing with it is like they only gave you so much funds like per the week. So it's like with it being kind of allowance, like if you reach zero, like it would say like, yeah, like your card's
so it's like a prepaid card, I guess.
Yeah.
Ah, interesting. I did not know that. Huh.
Which I mean, like, California is a bit more expensive of a place, but I mean, we did get a little higher, I guess, allowance compared to other missions, because it's like depending on the region you're in, like you get a little more funding or less.
See how much gas is in California? Ridiculous.
Yeah. Well, and then the cool thing was, so like with the gas, that was a completely different card. Like there was a gas card, so it's like you didn't need to use your allowance money for gas. Like we had one specifically for like cars, because like if we had to divide the allowance up like with gas too,
would it be hard to keep track, or do they kind of just differentiate?
Well, so the gas card you always left like with your car, like you would never just carry it around with you, because like inside your car, like the like how like you leave your like registration and stuff like in your car. Like you would only take it out when you're getting gas, or like when you would take your car like for a car wash, because I think we would take it like once a week or something, like just so it looks nice.
Did each of you get a card, or is it a group kind
of? So with
the gas card, I meant. I know the allowance one. You each had one. So.
No, the gas card is just one, just because like it was usually just for your
duo or what?
It was one per companion. So like during just one per companionship, because it's like, so just you and your companion like with your car. So it's like each car had a gas card. So depending on who the car was like given to, like then they would have that gas card. Because like there was some times where it's like a household of 4 would have one car, so like they shared the car. But for the most part, it's usually each companionship of 2 had their own car. And then later, as things started opening up, then people started biking again, because like for the longest time we had cars, but officially the California Los Angeles mission is a biking mission, just because like more people are out and about, so it's a lot easier like if you're on a bike to talk to people, or I guess like just walking around than in the car. Yeah, the traffic sucks in California.
So you're better off just
rush.
walking or biking everywhere, huh?
Yeah, because rush hour in California is like all day.
There's never a time where it slows down.
No, not really.
All day, bro. I would hate to drive in California then. So that means you would always take like an hour to get to your wherever you have to go.
Well, so it's the freeways, like for the most part. Like if you're driving like residential, it's not as bad. But yeah, like if you had to drive farther, like you would plan, like, because that's how it was a lot of the time, like you planning travel time, like to go to different places, because it's like, oh, if you have to go over here, it takes like a half hour or something, so you have to go over here, it might take like an hour. So it's just like, yeah, so just like keeping track of that. But yeah, then they, like, once they started like bringing the bikes back, because I think now well, I guess so right before I left is when they were saying that like when you started coming into that mission, you had to like bring your own bike, like for the mission, that you would just like keep with you, so that if you were in a biking area, which was like very likely just because they weren't using cars as much, then you would already have it to go. But me, luckily, like when I was biking, like because at the time like they weren't requiring it, so like I was able to use a bike that was already there that a previous missionary had left behind. And then right before I left, my last 6 months, that's when they were starting to like say, oh, you need to bring a bike. But I'm like, well, I have like 6 months, like I'm not gonna buy one for 6 months. But then luckily there was a missionary that lived in the same building as me, and he had a bike that he wasn't using. So I asked him, I'm like, oh, hey, like, is it all right if I use your bike, like, for the time being? And then, obviously, like, if one of us leaves, like, I would give you back your bike. And it's like, oh, like, yeah, that's cool. And then, like, we happened to be in the same area for, like, till I finished my mission. And then, like, after I finished, like, then he went to a biking area. So it's like, oh, like, I just gave him back his bike. So it was really nice because I didn't have to buy one.
So, after the 6 months, it was like a normal process, what you're saying. So, there wasn't anything unique about serving a mission after the process, after the 6 months during COVID then? Did people still wear masks, or like were people still keeping 6 feet apart, or was there anything unique about it that went there?
I'd say, yeah, probably leading up to the like first year, like, even though the restrictions were like going away and stuff, like there was still a lot of people wearing masks or like keeping their distance. But then after that, it kind of just, like, I guess, just normal, like everyday life, how it is now, where it's like, oh yeah, no masks, like people are like meeting up in groups, like you can go to parties and different, like, you, like, I guess you could just, like, normal life. There wasn't like restrictions and stuff like after that. But yeah, the first kind of years when people were still a little like worried about COVID and things like that, like even the restaurants, like when they did start letting people dine in, like a lot of them would say, oh, like if you have your vaccine card, we'll let you dine in, but if not, then you have to order through drive-through, like stuff like that.
It reminds me, that was a little weird. Did you have a card? You got the shot, right?
Yeah, we got a little card that like we'd carry around, or if you just took a picture, you could show people like from your camera roll, like, oh yeah, here's my card, and they're like, oh, like, all right.
Couldn't you like fake that? Just say, oh, that is my card, and it's just someone else's.
Well, like it had your I think it had your name and stuff, so well, like I mean, I guess you could, because I don't think they, like, I don't remember anyone ever asked. Yeah, I don't remember anyone ever asking for like an ID or something to prove that I was who I was. I think like just as long as you have the card, they're like, yeah, sure.
I don't know. I always found that weird, but I mean, that's neither here nor there. So, but would that mean like how would did you guys have to order kind of like Uber Eats during the six months to like then? Would you guys always do like Uber Eats kind of thing then, and then we're able to go out and go to restaurants?
A lot of it was we just make food at home because like we'd have like
you guys had like an official person who knew how to cook or something.
Here and there, like we weren't the greatest cooks. Like we'd have a lot of like the same things, like breakfast, a lot of like breakfast burritos or like eggs and like toast, like cereal,
like the easy
sandwiches. Yeah, like we usually have like kind of just basic things. Like sometimes we make a little more, and then every so often we'd go out and eat, but it wasn't until like the restaurant started kind of like letting us go eat there again that we do it, because I know like every Monday we'd usually go buy food like at a place just because like we could like eat outdoors.
Yeah.
Because that like in California there's a lot of like unique places, because like so my very first area I was in Downey in the Huntington Park area, which like if anyone that's been there, like you just go to Firestone Boulevard and like that whole street is just filled with food. So it's like whenever we go buy food, like we go over there, we try a new place. It's like there was this there was this restaurant, like it's a superhero themed restaurant.
What?
I think it's called Mighty Birds, which what? Like that place was
what?
Awesome. Yeah.
Like a cosplay restaurant? What?
No, like so the restaurant itself, when you walk in, like the tables are like they're like comic book like inspired. They have like issues, they have like little quotes, they have like I guess like kind of statue things, the superheroes, like the different things you order are like superhero based. It's like, oh, you can get like, well, so like one of the things that they had that was really cool was called the Hulk burrito, which that like, yeah. So when they first had that place, like it wasn't as pricey as it is now, because like it did go up. But when it was first around, the Hulk burrito, I think it was a $25 burrito, but it was, what is it? Think of like from if you have your hand in a fist, think of from like the end of your knuckle all the way down to like your elbow. That's how big the burrito was.
That's huge.
Yeah, and it was only $25. And like it was like you eat that, you're full the whole day. Like that would fill you up.
Damn.
So like we'd get that a couple times. Like I know
a couple of times. How would you eat that per day? I was like, what?
No, not per day. Like it'd be like if we got it like once at most twice a week, just because like it does kind of add up. But like I know what like the times I had it, I could never finish it all in one sitting, because the closest I got was I think like if you think of what is, you know, McDonald's, like the cheeseburger they have, like how big that is.
Yeah.
So it's like I would like the closest I got was like I had like that much left of the burrito, and then like I just save it for like later.
What was in it?
Oh, well, so because Mighty Birds was known for like chicken, so they'd have cut up chicken in it. Like you would choose the spicy level because they had different like ratings, kind of like Wingstop. And then I believe that one had coleslaw in it. But the thing is, like, because of the other stuff in it, you couldn't really taste the coleslaw. So like if you're not a fan of coleslaw, like you can barely taste it with that burrito. And then I think they had
cheese,
potatoes. I think like cheese and potatoes in it as well.
Well, they put like a large quantity, like because if it's so big, is there a lot of meat in it?
Yeah, there's a bunch of like everything in it.
Damn.
Because I know my trainer, him and I think like one other missionary that we knew were able to finish it like in one sitting.
Damn,
but like everyone else,
big appetite.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, like my trainer, like he wasn't like a big guy. Like he was pretty thin, but like he was really tall. So I don't know if maybe like that helped. But yeah, like he could eat crazy amounts of food. I'm like, dude, what the like? Dang.
He's like a real life anime character, huh?
Because like he outweighed me a bunch. Where like, because I mean like
Dang.
I can eat like a decent amount, but I was like, what
Yeah.
the heck? Like, where's all that food go?
Man, it's crazy though.
And then there's like it was next to Mighty Birds. Like I think the owner owned both places, but it was like this like buffalo wing place. Like that place was really good because they had like very similar things. Wingstop's a really good place. There's this place called like Pete's Burgers, which like you know Burger Bar.
Yeah, I know what Burger Bar is.
Yeah, so you know how they give you like the huge portions, like how back in the day they gave you like bigger portion sizes.
Yeah.
So Pete's Burgers is like that. Like if you got
Dang, that sounds
what is it like? Like you get like a large soda and it's like freaking like a foot tall or something. And then like yeah, and then I remember like the sandwich I would always get was the pastrami sandwich, which like it's a freaking giant sandwich. You get a bunch of fries, and like that place wasn't like, I mean, for California prices, like I think you could get that whole meal for like I think like 15, maybe $20, and like it filled you up. Like it was good. And I remember I got like a root beer float that was like giant too, because I didn't know the portion size when we first went, so I'm like, yeah, I'll get a drink and like a root beer float, and then they were both super giant. I'm like, oh well, I guess this is gonna last me like 2 days, or even the food itself. Huh?
Jeez.
Yeah.
Is that place
because
still
like
around?
yeah, I believe so. Cause yeah, like the out of like food wise, the best food that I had, like I guess fast food wise, because like home cooking, like it's different, but yeah, fast food wise, like Downey, Huntington Park area, like they had the best food my whole mission.
What, the burrito place you're talking about?
Well, I mean, just in general, like all the different options, like that's where I guess that's where the best fast food was.
So you got more expensive though? That burrito sounds good, but you said it got more expensive.
Yeah, so like what happened is because that place got more popular, so they raised the price, and I think they made the burrito a little smaller.
What? That sucks.
Yeah, but I mean, like we got it when it was still cool, so
yes,
it was nice.
Now you have good memories of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I think I went maybe once when they changed the prices, or I just heard about it from another missionary where I was like, what? I was like, what the heck? Like, I remember this place used to be cool. It wasn't overpriced.
That's crazy. So
but I think
sorry, go ahead.
I think Mighty Birds might be unique just to California, so I don't know, maybe like that's why they upped their prices or something. But I'm like, if they ever have one here, like I'm going.
I think they have a Wingstop here, but I don't think it's that good.
There's one. Yeah, there's one like downtown I've been to. That one's, I think it's downtown. That Wingstop's pretty good. But in California, they have like a lot more.
That is crazy. So that would mean have you been to California before you were a missionary then?
I think I went for like Disneyland, but that was it. And like since Disneyland's in Anaheim, so that wasn't even like the area I served in, so it's kind of funny.
So you don't really have like a early memory of California then, I guess you would say.
No, not too much. So like it was really interesting like going there, because I'm like, I've been here, but just not like where I'm actually at.
Oh, did you ever have you went back to that area you were in after your mission then?
Not yet. I have to I haven't been back yet. I need to. The thing that's kind of hard though is like, so how I was telling you, like how there's there was like the 9 zones or whatever, like in our whole mission. Like I went to like 7 of the 9 like throughout my whole mission. Because I started in Downey, then I went to Inglewood, which is below it. Then I went to Torrance, which is below that. Then I went up to downtown. Then I went to downtown LA, and then I went to the San Fernando Valley, which is like the very top area.
Yeah.
And then I went back down to Inglewood, and that's where I ended. But because I think it's of the. Oh no, I guess it was 7, not 9. So like that was 5 areas, and then yeah. So of those 7, I went to 5 of them because the only ones I didn't go to were the very bottom, which is Palos Verdes, and then I guess like the social media area of the mission, which like those missionaries like.
Wait, did you say social
I guess it's
media?
Yeah, because it's like above downtown, but it's not downtown, so I don't really know what that's called, but like in order to go to that, like serve in that zone, like you had to be part of the social media team.
What? Excuse me, what?
Yeah, because that's so that's a thing that started during the pandemic, because like since the missionaries were inside, like they were starting to do more social media because they're like, oh, people are inside like on their phones, so like there was a lot of missionaries that had I guess like skills when it came to like camera work or recording videos like
oh, okay, gotcha. Okay.
I guess kind of like the YouTuber type mindset where it's like, oh, like making videos, editing, stuff like that. Like,
yeah.
Then missionaries would go be part of the social media team, and like they'd film videos or ads like promoting missionary work, and then like see like, oh, like we'd share it on our mission page on Facebook, and it's like, oh, if people see it and they like, then they want to speak with the missionaries, like that would help. I guess share it. I mean, like to a point, because like I think like because the whole thing when they first started it, like it was new, so it's like obviously in the beginning they were still like working things out, but I think now it's like a lot better because like when it first started out too, they kind of limited it just to like the missionaries within the social media group, where it's like, oh, it's like, no, like if we kind of make it so every missionary like in this mission like does a little social media work, like then you're getting more exposure too, but then it's like because everyone has unique ideas and
really
stuff.
Participated in that.
No, because like they started going I guess doing more with it right before I left. I think like 2-3 months. So like it was kind of
been funny. Hey guys, it's Mars here, and I'm about to baptize this man. Stay tuned and watch the video to the end.
Exactly. So, but it was good because I mean, like me personally, I'm not really into that type of. Well, I mean, like I guess like making the content. Like if it comes to like, oh, hey, you want to be part of a video? Like, yeah, I'm up for it. But I mean, when it comes to like coming up with the ideas or like editing and stuff, I'm like, yeah, like I don't really know too much. So that's why when they started doing it, I was like, oh, I'm like, yeah, it's good I'm leaving so I don't have to do this. And it was kind of funny because my last companion, like I think he hit his 6 months when I left, so like he was gonna be there for a while, and like he was still kind of getting used to the social media stuff too. Like he was similar to me, like we both like didn't really know what we were doing. So I was like kind of joking with him. I'm like, oh, I'm like, yeah, well, I guess you're gonna learn. So I see ya. So I don't know if you learned. Like he never mentioned anything since then, but.
Oh, like you. Never. I'll ask that at the end. So. Oh, I know that missionaries kind of have I guess unique immunity might be the word, or maybe that didn't work in California. I know in other parts, I think I'm only basing this off of stories. Like in Mexico, people really mess with missionaries because like it's not beneficial for them to rob them or try to ransom them. Don't get anything out of it. Was it the same in California? Or was it kind of different? Like how like I guess do you have any crazy stories then or anything like that?
Well, I know. So when it came to like getting robbed,
Are you been robbed in California?
No. I never, like, that never happened to me. There was a missionary I knew that, like, I think it was, I swear it was like his first or second week. Like, I felt so bad for him that, like,
He got mugged
he didn't get mugged, but I guess this guy, like, was like messing with him and his companion with like a knife, like at knife point. I was like, what the heck? Like they got away, like they were fine. But like just like coming into the mission and like that's like one of your early experiences. I'm like, oh dang man, like
was
like,
he
I hope you're
not
okay.
used to it? Because I know that some people that might be like traumatizing for them, especially if they aren't used to that type of environment. Like I haven't served the mission, so I can't really say. But I know personally, I've been in environments where violence was kind of normal. That's not I'm not saying it's a good or a bad thing, but like a knife
like
would be that crazy for me.
What would like? I mean, like I don't think he came. I guess like kind of from a background where that would be, I guess, like a normal thing. But like the way he took the experience, like. It to him it seemed more like, oh, like I just have a cool story to share with people, not like, oh yeah, like I mean, this could have ended badly.
I guess if you take it that way, it's not too bad. I guess if you take it.
Yeah.
So then you just got lucky then, I guess. You never had anyone mug or knife you or anything, or try to rob you, I guess. Or am I wrong about that?
Well, so let's see. So, well, I guess I'll separate these into like categories. So like this first one is just kind of like crazy stories, I guess, like more interesting, not really dangerous.
Yeah.
But so in like when I was living in Downey, like because like the neighborhood we lived in, like because I lived in a couple apartments over there, but like the second apartment I lived in was in more of a dangerous kind of neighborhood. But I remember because like we didn't have a AC.
Dangerous and like they were okay with you guys being there or what? That's kind of weird.
Well, so like it wasn't dangerous like, oh, like someone got like killed or something here, but it's like, oh, like there could be dangerous activity because like anytime we had an apartment that was in a kind of rough neighborhood, the elders, the guy missionaries would live there. Because the sister missionaries, like just in general, like it like there's already like more, I guess, things that can happen to sister missionaries. So when it came to like when it comes to living situations, like they would never have the sister missionaries live in like dangerous areas just because they're like we don't want to add that risk. So it's the elder missionaries, like if we did live in a somewhat dangerous area, it's like we just tough it out. But I mean, like not like, at least where I lived, it was never like, oh, like I could die. Like it was just like, oh yeah, like you might hear some things outside that you wouldn't normally hear, like if you were back home.
Oh, I guess it's kind of like one of those like, oh, if you go to this neighborhood, you shouldn't be surprised if you get beat up or something.
Yeah, kind of like that. Because
if you go looking to get beat up, you're gonna find it, kind of.
Yeah, you're gonna like find. Yeah. But like, so when in this neighborhood, because so like our AC like didn't work at that house, and like so when it got hot, like especially at night, so because like what we did is we like, because it was me, my companion, and two other missionaries. So what we did is like we put all four of our beds in the same room. And because like that room had like a screen door, so like we'd have the screen door open at, well, I guess the door part, like the glass part open, and the like screen, like protective screen, like to keep the bugs out, like closed, just because like then it would like be nice and cool when we were sleeping. But one night, like we were all sleeping, and like I was the one that like slept next to that door, and like out of nowhere, like we just hear like doo-doo-doo, like a couple gunshots, like someone did like a drive-by type thing. And so we all like look, we sit up, we all look at each other, and then like because it's like 2, 3 in the morning. So like we look at each other and I just go and I just like slide the door closed and lock it.
I'm gonna just close this.
Yeah, because we're like, well, like it's too early for this. Like we're just going back to sleep. And then
funny to mess them.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like I don't think anything.
I mean, you can't really do
yeah.
anything about it. You can't really do anything about it. You can laugh it off.
Yeah, because I mean, like I don't think anything, because like I don't remember hearing like, oh hey, so this morning so and so was found dead. Like, so I don't know what actually like happened. I just think it was funny that we're like, oh, just some more gunshots. All right, let's close it.
God, those pesky hooligans shoot each other again.
Because I mean, like when it comes to like gunshots or fireworks, like if you've ever lived in LA, like that's kind of a normal occurrence. Like I guess maybe unless you live in like Beverly Hills or something, but like everywhere else, like it's like, yeah, you're gonna hear like sounds and different things like on a regular basis.
So wait, what was the other categories you said? So, or was that just one of the same category?
Oh, that's just one of the same. So okay. Then there's another one where like, so it was super funny. So like, it was near the end of my mission. So me and my companion, like, we're riding bikes. You know, we're just like chilling, waiting for the light to change. And this like random like homeless guy like just comes up to it, or yeah, like this like random homeless guy comes up to us, and he's all coming over. He's like, oh, he's like, hey, he's like, yeah, he's like, you guys spared like some money so I can pay my rent. And we're like, what? Like, hey, what do you mean? And he's like, oh, he's like, yeah, he's like, spare some money for, because he's like, oh, he's like looks like you guys have like nice clothes and stuff. Like, you help me out.
Nice clothes, okay.
Yeah, because like since I guess missionaries, like we just wear like a white shirt, tie, like dress pants, and I guess like dress shoes. So I mean, like compared to the average person, like we are more dressed up, but
yeah.
It was just funny because we're like we're just like chilling our bikes, so we're like, what? And we're like, oh, like, hey, sorry, like we don't carry like cash with us. And he's like, what? He's like, what the heck? He's like, yeah, I thought like you religious type, so you're just supposed to go help people in need. And we're like, oh, it's like, well, like we like us specifically, we don't really like cover that because it's like as missionaries, like we don't have money. Like we're kind of broke like everyone else. But it's like, oh, like we can like give you our bishop's like number if you want, and like you can ask him, because like that's like more of like the bishop's department. He's like, oh, he's like, oh, he's like, no, he's like, yeah, like never mind, like what the heck, guys? He just like leaves.
That's weird.
And we're like,
okay, him like a solution, and he didn't take it. That's kind of weird. Like, I'm assuming he would have gotten the help he needed.
Well, I think he just like thought we would have money right then, type thing. Not like, oh, like, well, I have to go like talk to someone else about it, type thing. Or I don't know, man. Like, maybe thinking like, oh, like we're just lying. Like, oh, he's like, I know you have money because you have like nice clothes, but it's like, no, like, dude, we really don't. Like, I'm sorry.
When you have it all on the card, so like in the card, you can't really give them the card because you need that.
Well, and then like they've like I think the mission president told us that, where it's like, oh, if people do ask for money, like as missionaries we're not supposed to like give people like say we do, like, oh yeah, I can go to the bank and get you some cash, because like it just kind of looks bad, because if people are like, oh wait, like, oh, the missionaries just like hand out money, like, yeah, let's go see if they can give us money, where it's like, oh, that's like just not what we do now. Yeah, where it's like, no, like that's not like our purpose. Yeah, where it's like there's other people that like that's kind of what they deal with, so it's like you should ask them. And then was another one like it was really cool. So me and my one companion, so like we like this companion, I think out of all my companions we were together the longest, because we were together for I think like 3 transfers, so like 4.5 months or something like that. So it's like we were in Torrance, and we were. I think we were on bikes. So it's like we were going down like a main road, getting ready to head home because like it was getting late. And then like out of nowhere, like I'm riding, and I see something like in the corner of my eye, and I'm like, what, like the heck is that? I go like middle of the street, like there's nobody else on the road with us, like maybe a couple cars passed by, but like no, there's nobody else except us like out and about. And I go and I found like a $20 bill, and I'm like, what the heck? And then I go and I'm like, oh, okay. And I'm like looking, and I see like more money. I end up finding like $60, and I'm like, what the heck?
What?
So we go and we're all looking around trying to see like, oh, hey, like did someone drop it, like passing by? And then we're going, and like we're like, oh, like what the heck? And we're kind of debating. We're like, oh, like should we just leave it or like take it? And then like the conclusion we come to is it's like, okay, like obviously if we ask around, like anybody's gonna be like, oh yeah, I lost some money. Yeah, we're like, since nobody was here, it's like, here, like we'll keep it, but it's like we're gonna use it to help somebody else. So I think like I think we ended up using it to help like buy someone like food or something, because at first my companion's like, whoa, he's like, no, you can't just take it. I'm like, no, no, I'm not gonna use it for myself. I'm like, yeah, if we take it, we're gonna like help someone with it. so then yeah, then like that's what ended up happening. So like we got the $60, and then we used it to like help somebody out. But it was freaking crazy because I'm like, what, I've found at most like maybe $10, but I'm like $60.
That's a lot.
Like that's crazy. Yeah. So well, yeah, that one was really cool. And then I guess kind of like miracles or unexplained events. What ones do I have? I have like, well, this one like I guess it's just like a general thing. Like it's not like I get like it's happened like a lot of like, I guess more times than you could count, but like just the gift of tongues, I guess, like when I was on my mission, because obviously like I was learning a new like I mean I knew a couple words in Spanish to begin with, but like I really didn't know like all that much. And it's like the MTC, like you only learn so much because it's like you have to get out in the field and like learn more. But I remember like there was a couple times, like especially when I was starting, because like I think one time like one of the people we were teaching, like it was when I was still with my trainer, so I like maybe like a month in, if that, and this person asked us to like give him a blessing. So like I was the one to do it, and like I was still learning, but like I don't know, like I was able to say like what needed to be said. Or there was times where like we were having a lesson and like teaching someone, and it's just like, oh, like just all of a sudden like knowing like the right words I guess to say, like even though it's like, well, like what the heck, like I didn't even know like I knew how to say. And what else? But there was this one in Inglewood. So it was like I was a different like, well, yeah, I guess a different companion than like the ones I've mentioned, but like we were just visiting members, like just like that's what we were doing for the day, where it's like, oh yeah, like yeah, let's go visit like this person and stuff like that. And then I think it was near the end of the night, like we decided where it's like, oh okay, we're gonna go like visit one more person and then like head home. And like the person we visited, like she like I guess like she was having problems with like her spouse at the time, and like yeah, like just like marital problems. Okay. And like just going and like visiting her, like she had kind of been like praying and stuff, like, oh, like hope like the missionaries or someone will come like visit me and like help me out so I can feel like I guess like yeah, help her like feel better or like work through her problems a little bit. Yeah. And then we showed up and it's like, oh, like what the heck? And then we ended up like visiting her a bunch of times. We ended up becoming like pretty good well, I guess like just getting to know her family a bit. We can't like, well, yeah, I guess like pretty good friends with her daughter because like we ended up going to like her birthday party at one point. It's like, oh, like, yeah, see, like if we hadn't talked to them, like, who knows what would have happened.
And you got some cake in the front.
Yeah, the cake was really good too.
Oh, was it homemade?
Yeah, I think so.
What?
Because I think it was like red velvet.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. Oh, there was this other one where so like it was in Torrance.
Mm-hmm.
And this person like, so it wasn't someone we knew, it was someone, I think the sister missionaries knew them, but
Yeah.
so like they asked us if we could go visit them just because like I think like we were in the area or something, so like we were closer. But like this person asked us to like bless their house because they said like they felt like there was like a kind of presence like in there. And then like it was weird because like when we first got in, like you could feel like, yeah, it did seem like it was a little off. And then when we did like bless the house, like you could tell like just the air or whatever, like it felt different. I think even the daughter, like she was kind of scared like when we, because I think it was like a mom and like her like adult daughter, like they were kind of scared. But then afterwards, like the daughter's like, oh, like, yeah, it's different, like, thank you. And like we were like, oh, like, yeah, it's cool, like it does feel like different.
Oh. Like a haunted house, I guess, or something.
Yeah. And then now for the spooky ones, the scary encounters.
Scary encounters? Alright, let's hear this.
Yeah. So the funny thing is, so like my very first apartment, when I was still in training, like, so at first me and my companion thought it was like just us, but then when we asked the other missionaries living with us, like they told us they had like strange experiences too. So what ended up happening is like there would be times where like we were at the house, like just, you know, like by ourselves, because like sometimes the other missionaries like were like outside walking around or something.
Yeah.
But like we'd hear like doors open and close like randomly, and we're like, what, like the heck, like we're both right here, it's like, who did it? And then we talked to the other missionaries about it, and they said like the same thing happened with them like when we weren't around. And then I think it was when we were talking about it, like we were all four of us were in the same room, and then all of a sudden like one of the doors just slammed shut. We're like, oh, really? So we're like, all right, look.
And it wasn't,
we're like,
or nothing, dude.
No, because yeah, we didn't have the windows open, because like
That's
sometimes
crazy.
we did, so it's like, oh, maybe it was the wind, but like that time, yeah, it wasn't like nothing was open. So we're like we were debating at first, like, oh, should we like maybe bless the house? And then when that door slammed, we're like, oh, all right, like, yeah, let's go. We're doing it.
Like, all right, poltergeist, be gone.
Yeah, and then after that, like, it didn't happen again. So we're like, oh, like, okay, well, like, whatever was doing that, like, it's gone now.
That would be really weird to see that.
But it was just like crazy, because I'm like, the first apartment I lived in, and it's like haunted. What the heck?
What are the odds?
Yeah. And then what is it? When so like downtown LA is just kind of crazy in the first place, but if you go to like Skid Row, is like, that's just a dangerous place to be, like, just in general. Like, yeah, anyone in California will tell you.
Yeah, like a known dangerous area.
Yeah, so it's like, one time, me and my companion, we were like, because I think we were leaving a member's house, because like she had asked us to visit, so like it was kind of late at night, so it's like, oh yeah, we're gonna head back to the car and like go home. And on our way like back to the car, we were going and walking, and we passed this house. This guy was just like sitting outside, like, I don't know if he was like drinking, or if he was just like out there, because like we didn't see like what he had, but like he was drinking something, so I don't know if it was like alcohol or just like whatever. But he was just sitting there, and like he kind of looked over at us, and we're like, oh, like hey sir, like how are you, like have a good night. And then he just started like flipping out, like freaking out, like, oh, like what'd you say to me, like what the F do you want, like this and that. And then like we're like, oh, what's the ring? Yeah, like he was going like,
that's weird.
Yeah, and he was just like going crazy. And then like we go and we're walking, and then like he starts kind of following us, and like our car, like was kind of off to a side street, so we're like, hey, we're like, how about we don't walk straight to our car? Like, we're gonna walk to a main road in case like this guy tries to attack us or something. So like, there's people to like watch and like help us.
Yeah.
So we walk to a main road, and then I think we like we're walking, and then we end up like, I think, turning down another street, and then he just like keeps walking down the main road, so like we kind of wait a second and like see, and we're like, oh, okay, like he went that way, and then we end up like going back to our car, but like a different way, because we're like, oh, like, yeah, we don't want to like run into him again. And then like on our way back, what happens is like we're driving, and then my companion, because like he was the one driving, so he goes and he's like, what? He's like, wait, he's like, hold on, he's like, what? Like, what street was that? And I'm like, oh, I'm like, I think it said Skid Row. And he's like, oh, he's like, yeah. He's like, we should not have been over there. He's like, yeah, he's like,
chased you.
Yeah, he's like, okay, he's like, yeah, he's like, it makes no sense that, like, why he was angry.
Oh, crazy.
Because it's like, yeah, because it's like, we should not, well, especially at night, like, you do not want to be over there. And then another time, so like it was this like same like downtown LA, because like where we lived over there, like we called it the frat house because we lived like near Frat Row, where like all the frat houses are in general. And our house, like, it was like, because I think we like there was 4 apartments, so it's like there's the downstairs, upstairs, downstairs, upstairs, but they're all connected. But, well, I guess the downstairs and upstairs are one, and then the other one is next to it. So it's like we had missionaries in 3 of the 4 places. So it's like, oh, like the frat house, because it's like there was 4 of us in each apartment. So it's like, yeah, there's like a bunch of us all living like right near each other.
Yeah.
But it was there that like we were doing our like morning exercises. Like we were just like working out like in the front of our lawn, like in our gated like area. And then this this homeless guy came up to us, and so like I guess he thought we were Jehovah's Witnesses, but like, I mean, like we weren't like dressed up like in anything, because since we were like working out, we just had like kind of workout clothes. But yeah, he thought we were Jehovah's Witnesses, and he started like just like yelling stuff at us. So we're like, oh, like, okay, whatever, like we'll just like ignore him, because it's like he's not doing anything. And then all of a sudden, like my one like missionary friend, so like he was just like out there, and he was like stretching, like, you know how like when you like stretch your arm, you put your arm in front of you and like kind of stretch it out.
Yeah.
So he was just doing that, and I think like, I don't know if he just happened to look at the guy or what, and then the guy, like, he just started freaking out on him. He's like, what? He's like, what? He's like, you want to start something? He's like, yeah. He's like, yeah. He's like, oh, he's like, yeah. He's like, I'll come over there. He's like, you don't think I won't. He's like, I'll like open up your fence to get you. And then it was funny because like he tried getting in, but like he was having to, like, he was struggling trying to open the lock, and we're like, what? Like, okay, dude, like, you okay? And then
you need us to help you to get beat up?
Yeah, well, and then it was fun because like, so that same missionary, like, I mean, like, he happened to, I think, like do a little smirk. Well, because I think we all kind of did, just because it was kind of funny that the guy like couldn't open the gate. But the guy, I think, happened to look at him when he did that too, where he's like, oh, he's like, you know what? He's like, yeah, I'm gonna get you. And then like he did open it, and then he like walks up to my like to the missionary, and like he goes like he's gonna hit him, and then like the missionary friend, like, he was still just stretching. Like, I think he like turned his head a little bit, so like if the guy did hit him, it's not like he's gonna hit him like right in his face, like he's gonna hit like the side of his head or something. And the guy's like, oh, he's like, yeah, that's what I thought. And then like he just walks off, and we're like, what? Like what the heck? Like, okay. So then like we eventually, I think, reported it later. And then like it was crazy. So like our neighbors, like because like they like, yeah, just like the house next door, like our neighbors, like they're cool, because like I don't know if like they just knew, like, know, like they've known like, oh, missionaries live here or what, but like they were always really nice to us. And I think like a little bit after the guy left, like they told us, they're like, hey, like, yeah, if this guy gives you problems again, like just let us know, and like we'll take care of it. And we're like, what? Like oh, okay. Like, thanks. well, I mean, like that. Well, I mean, like he never. Yeah. Well, I mean, like I don't think he ever came back and bothered us again. So like I don't. Yeah, because I don't know if like they scared him or what, but I'm like, oh, like, all right, like, yeah, thanks, guys. Like that was cool.
That's interesting. Dang. Mars connection with a bunch of muscle men. It's like, dang, don't mess with these guys ever again. Clock you.
Mm-hmm. Well, there's a bunch of missionaries that, like, I don't know if maybe like it was kind of like that like protection thing that like some missionaries have like mentioned having, but yeah, like there's been a bunch of missionaries or even people that I knew that like they told us like, hey, like, yeah, like you know, hey, like the missionaries are cool, like leave them alone, or like, hey, like don't mess with the missionaries, like, or we're gonna get you or something. And it's like oh, like, thanks.
Alright, because like they ain't bothering nobody.
Yeah, I think that's what a lot of it would be, because they're like, what? They're like, yeah, like these guys are just dealing, like leave them alone.
They're not affiliated with any gangs or nothing. So
yeah, where we're like, oh, like, yeah, thanks. Oh. There you go. There's a couple stories right there.
Sounds like you had a lot of fun there.
Yeah, it was nice.
Did you do any, I guess you would say, because you were in California, did you have the means to go to like theme park rides or nothing like that? What do they have there? They have like Disneyland, they got Universal Studios, maybe museums, I guess.
Yeah, so like, what is it? Disneyland wasn't in our mission. Well, I guess.
So it'd have to be in your zone then, I guess, to go.
Yeah, it has to be like within the mission itself, because, well, I get like, so amusement parks, like, as missionaries, you're not, like, we're not able to like go on the rides and stuff. Like, that's just one of the rules we have. But it's like there's kind of like, I mean, like, I guess it's kind of a workaround, because like when I was in the San Fernando Valley, like Universal Studios was like within our mission. So there was a couple times that me and the missionaries, like in my household, like we went there just because like Universal Studios, like it's like how there's like all the shops and like stuff outside the park, and then like you have the park itself after. So it's like we would just go to the shops and like just look around or like buy like different things like over there, because it's like we're not going into the park on the rides, but it's like we're still kind of in the area. So like that was really cool that we could do. There was a bunch of museums that we would, because like there was a, like, I think when I was in Downey, we went to the Coliseum. We saw like a car show. There was a space museum that we went to that was really cool. In Torrance, since like we were pretty close to the beach, like we well, I mean, like we just walked around like the pier a bunch of times, and then like they had like on the boardwalk they had a free aquarium thing that we went to, where like that was cool, because like we walk in and they like show us some stuff, like tell us a bit about like the animals. I know some people went to the zoo. Like I wasn't able to go just because like like the like people I was living with and stuff, like they just didn't want to go. And I think like when I was close, or like I don't think I was ever really that close to it, so it's like, oh, like, all right, I guess I didn't go to the zoo, but like went to a bunch of museums though. Oh, we went to the Walk of Fame. We went there, which was really nice. Yeah, because like they're like, I know I went a bunch of times just because like they have so much over there. Because like I know one time I went, like me and my companion went to Ripley's, like, Believe It or Not. We went to the Funko store like a bunch, or I think like 3 or 4 times, like just because like that it's unique to California, so they have like a bunch of stuff. Is that like their
headquarters or something there? Not headquarters, well, sorry, like that's where they started, I guess would be the word.
I think, well, because it's kind of like you know how there's like some places where it's like you can shop online, but then it's like they have a few stores like in like limited locations type thing. So it's like Funko, they have I think like 2 or 3 stores like that you can actually visit, but most of the stuff is online, where like California happens to be one of those places. So that's why like we went there and got some stuff. There was what's the, do you know the, so like he was a football player, like he has like a gap in his 2 middle teeth, like on the top,
like an actually famous football player.
Yeah, because I think he. Yeah, because I can't remember his name, but like I know. No, I just like because I know like I think now he like does commentary for sports stuff, like kind of like Shaquille O'Neal does. Cause like yeah, I just know he was a football player. But
was it? I think he says Michael Strahan or Strahan.
Yeah, that guy. Yeah, Michael Strahan. Yeah, so like one of the times when we were on the Walk of Fame, like I guess he was getting a star there because I think they were like it was gonna be the first like sports like Hollywood star or whatever. So like when we were walking, because we were kind of like what like why is there like a big crowd of people? And then like we looked over and he was like giving a little speech and we're like what the heck? Like, oh, that's cool. We just saw him like just across the street.
You didn't like say hi or what's up, or you guys were kind of busy?
Well, I mean, like, cause like he was in like a little like podium area, so like they kind of had him blocked off. So it's like you could see him, but like you couldn't like interact with him.
Oh, he's kind of doing his own thing.
Yeah, cause like I think they were just like an event, like oh here we're gonna like we're giving you this star, like you have anything to say. So like we just walked past like as that was happening. We're like oh like cool. I got a picture with Wonder Woman and Mickey Mouse. Because you know how the people like dress up?
Wax museum?
No, just like you know how the people like dress up and just like walk around.
Wait, how are you able to give them tips? Don't they work for tips?
Yeah, but I mean, like I think I had like $10 or something. Like because so like
yo $10, damn, big tip per year.
Because yeah, it's like we didn't really carry we didn't carry cash. Like I think I just happened to have it from like something else. Like I don't know, I got changed from something. But like me and my companion, so like my companion didn't really like care for the picture or whatever. Like he was like no, he's like yeah I'm good. But like they asked me and I'm like oh like okay sure. And because like how they said they're like oh like yeah like because I asked them before like ahead of time. I'm like oh like how much is it? Like oh like oh it's like whatever, like we just work for tips. I'm like okay cool. So then like I got a picture, like I got a couple pictures with Wonder Woman, a couple with I think it was a couple with Wonder Woman and like 1 or 2 with Mickey Mouse. And then like me and my companion no, and then it was just I think just me. I got a picture with both of them because my companion took the picture. And then at the end they're like oh like I'm like oh yeah thanks, and I gave them like the $10. But it was funny because like I gave it to Wonder Woman, and then like you could tell like the Mickey Mouse guy, he was kind of looking over at my companion, kind of like oh like you gonna give me something, and then like he did it, but I'm like dude like he told you like he wasn't in the first place. Like I was the one that said I wanted the picture because like when
Dang,
my companion
Mars is cheap. He didn't do $10 each. He did 10. You gotta split it.
Oh, I mean, I just had $10. Like, I didn't have anything else. Because, like, I think it was, like, I had $10 or I had, like, 2 ones or something. Where I'm like, oh, like, you want $10 or, like, you want $2? Like, which one? And then, well, and it's funny, too, because the reason my companion even got a picture, because I think it was with, like, Mickey Mouse or something, is because, like, I think... Was it? No. I think it was with Wonder Woman. Because Wonder Woman, like, Mickey Mouse, I think, told him, like, oh, like, yeah, just, like, get in. And he's like okay. Because it's like, yeah, he wasn't planning on, like, a picture, but, like, because they're like, oh, yeah, just get in. So, like, he just got, like, the free picture. But I'm like, I gave you $10. Like, I know you got your costumes from, like, Walmart or something. Like, that shouldn't hold you up.
Yeah, for Wonder Woman, not for like Mickey Mouse.
Well, I mean, like they were together because like there was a couple times we saw them like other times we went, so like they worked as a team. Where I'm like, yeah, like that's amongst you guys, like you split it up. Because there was one time we were like walking past and they saw us and we're like, oh, like hey, what's up? And then we just like waved and left.
So then, I guess being in California, no famous celebrities. You didn't see Super Mega at all. I know you're a fan of a YouTube group called Super Mega with Matt.
No, I
and Ryan.
I wanted to in like Burbank, but I never saw him.
That would have been funny.
Yeah, there was. Oh, hello. Oh wait, hold on.
What
Let
happened?
me. Oh, someone's here. So I just pause it. Yeah, I'll just pause it real quick.
Pause it. Oh, you can pause it. We are back. I don't even know what we were talking about. I don't know.
Celebrities like Super Mega.
Oh yeah, did you see? Okay, I'll just reiterate the question. Did you see any celebrities or anything over there? Oh wait, no.
Yeah,
no, wait, never mind. We were talking about Super Mega, and then you said you were gonna see them in Burbank, and then you.
I know. I wish I like could see it because I get the. Well, I guess Michael Strahan, I guess, is like celebrity, like sports celebrity. So yeah, he's like the only one I ever saw. There was one like they were so lucky. So these missionaries that were like, I forget. I think they were like Beverly Hills area or something. Like I guess they met The Rock and he took them out like to lunch or something. And I was like, what? Like, what
probably because they're
heck?
missionaries. He probably wanted to help them. That's cool.
Yeah. Well, because I guess he told them, he's like, hey, he's like I don't want to be affiliated with your church, but he's like I know what you guys do, and he's like, I just like to buy you like lunch, and they're like, all right. So then he just got him lunch, but I'm like, dang, I'm like, yeah, that's freaking cool.
That would be pretty great. And then imagine he just converts The Rock. Power conversion.
Yeah. No, it was funny because you know how like Tesla and like Elon Musk is over there, because like because I saw SpaceX like before, like how they have the like rocket or whatever.
Yeah.
But I remember me and like some missionaries, like we joke about it. It's like, well, it's like what if Elon Musk just got converted? Like he just gives us Tesla. And
Here's my tithing, 1 Tesla.
Yeah, I know, we were just all joking about it because it's like, that'd be kind of cool. Because there was one of the senior missionaries, he had like a Tesla and he showed us. Yeah, because the senior missionaries, like, so their rules are a little bit different than us, but like one of the things they can do is like they bring their own cars, like when they go on their
Tesla,
mission.
he's like asking to get robbed.
Well, I mean, like, I think he was like in the nicer area,
okay.
Cause he was by the mission home, so like
if he was probably where you were, Skid Row, it probably would have got stripped down.
Yeah, probably. No, and then I remember like people talking about the Cybertruck, and I think it was it might have been like a month ago. Like I saw a Cybertruck like in real life. Like
yeah, apparently they're being
going down the street.
Here. Apparently they have a lot of problems.
Yeah. I guess I think the brake and like accelerator have problems and like some other stuff. But I was like, oh my god, I guess they lasted for a little bit.
Yeah. Looking like a video game.
Yeah, it looks so fun. Well, because I remember, like, my sister didn't know what it was. Because she's like, what? She's like, what the heck is that? I'm like, what? I'm like, is that a Cybertruck? I'm like, no way.
That's crazy.
And she's like, what? She's like, why does it look all pixely? I'm like, I don't know. That's just how they make it.
So, we're like now almost close to the end. So
2 hours in.
yeah, 2 hours in, we're almost close to the end. Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
So
Maybe another couple hours.
Because I guess I'll ask this question for because it kind of goes into the same way. So I would assume, did you have any, I guess you would say protesters or maybe LGBT people maybe going in your face, or the kind of maybe trying, not go in your face, that's kind of a mean way to say it. Start a conversation with you, I guess.
With
California
me,
mostly known for that community would be the word.
With me personally, like, I guess just where I happen to be, I never ran into that. I know there was like some missionaries that I think, like, I think there was like a set of missionaries that I think their neighbors or something were like lesbian, and they like talked with them like here and there. But like, yeah, I didn't like ever have, like, I guess, have interactions like that. So it's like, I mean, like, obviously there was people like in California that are associated with that group.
But I'm guessing they just kept to themselves, like how normal people do. Not crazy,
Yeah,
like
probably.
the Twitter people, because normal people just mind their own business.
Yeah.
Huh. So you're telling me the one area you were at was normal California. It wasn't the crazy California right now.
Well, I think what the closest to crazy stuff was when, so like, same thing when I was in downtown LA. Like, downtown LA was just like a fun experience. But so when they first changed the, well, I guess what the Supreme Court like changed, what, Roe versus Wade? Is that the like the abortion one?
Yeah,
where they,
the abortion one where like states have
to
do it now instead of the whole country.
Yeah, so it was like when they first changed it. So it's like none of the states had said anything yet. Like, they just had said like, oh, it's up to the states now. But I know, like, I was living in downtown LA at the time, and there was like a bunch of riots going on. It was funny because, so like, we weren't supposed to go like near the riots, like just for safety, like, because it's like, oh, it could turn violent.
Yeah.
So but me and my companion, like, a member had like scheduled to like give us food. So she's like, yeah, just like come by my house and like pick it up. We're like, okay, because we're like, oh, like, we go to her house, like, we're not gonna go like towards the riots. So like, we went to her house, and then on our way back, we got a little lost. And we ended up, I think, passing like the Capitol building or something, because we saw the protesters. And then me and my companion were like, wait, like, hold on, like, we're not supposed to be here.
You just randomly showed up there.
Yeah, because we got lost like coming back home. So like we just ended up on that street. So I mean, like, nothing bad happened. Like, we just went through, but it was just kind of funny because we were like, oh, like, wait, we're not supposed to be here. So we're like, let's hurry and get home.
Oh, you saw a little bit of people rioting.
Yeah, because we saw the people like with their signs and stuff, and they were like rioting. Like, I mean, it wasn't violent. Like, it was just like normal
regular
protesting. Yeah, but I guess, like, I think, like, as it went on, like, in different areas, like, there was people like throwing trash around and stuff. But like, where we were at, like, they were just protesting like normal.
Okay.
But yeah, I guess that's like the closest to some kind of like, or I guess just a protest. Yeah.
Not so crazy.
Like a movement.
Yeah. It's kind of whatever they try to excuse over there, whatever that, I don't know.
Yeah.
So that means, since you didn't encounter any, so this isn't, I gotta word this carefully, because like, I've already given my opinion on this particular topic. So there's already gonna probably be people canceling me either now or in the future, because I've already given my opinion on this. Or I can just skip this question, I guess, if you don't want to answer, if you're not comfortable asking. Up to you.
I mean, you can ask it. It's fine.
So the question was like, if you support LGBT, or you kind of like do your own thing, I'm gonna do my own thing.
Well, so yeah, what is it? So with that, like, me myself personally, I'm not associated like with the group, but like yeah, how you were saying, like, I think like if like you wanna, like, you do you, I do me, like, type thing. where it's like I'm not going to force down my beliefs like down your throat, like, and I would hope that you wouldn't do the same, because like I think like yeah, like we can live in harmony, like if we have different beliefs and ideas, like we just should respect each other's, like, I guess, viewpoint on like whatever the topic.
Simple enough. See, is that so hard for people to do? That's all you have to do. It's just kidding, man. It's not that simple.
This is like canceled.
Boredom
and Mars found dead. Just kidding.
Boredom and Mars have solved the controversy of LGBT. Just use your words, stupid. Next morning, they're found dead in the hotel.
Yeah, now we're dead.
Now we're dead because we're too smart.
Yep.
I want to, what a guy told me to ask you. He was a very important question. He was...
Is it the femboy one?
Yeah. That's related to LGBT. He said, your thoughts on femboys? Positive, negative, would or not would?
Well, I mean, like, yeah, I guess with that, my answer is like, is very similar to the LGBT plus
would?
one, where it's like,
so would, but it won't know.
Well, I mean,
won't know unless I see one, I guess.
I mean, they don't have a femboy like cafe, but no, I mean, like, yeah, me personally, like, I mean, you do you, like, I'm okay.
Like, here, folks, when it comes you have to be very passable for the wood section. That's what Mars is saying. Very hard to do when you have to be compared to anime, and anime is forever. Can't you?
I'll go do the what is it, the goth cafe or goth IHOP?
Goth IHOP, yeah. I mean, it is hard to compete with the Stoffel. Not gonna lie, he's kind of the peak. So.
There you go.
All right, here we'll end it off on this final question. This isn't a question meant to be rude to people, because I mean, it's pretty, well, not in general, but I find it personally dumb I have to keep saying that. But there's always that one crazy crack doo-doo head that's like, oh, this offends me, blah blah blah. So
it's too political. No, I'm just kidding.
I mean, it's not like you're forcing it in this type of question, but so in your opinion, this is like I'm saying opinion because it's not based in fact or studies. It's kind of just an opinion base. Do you think religion itself, in general, should be in like the modern day? How like a lot of these groups are kind of changing it. Like I guess like in the Catholic religion, the Pope is for LGBT, and he's also for like pronouns now. I don't know if you've seen that lately.
Oh, I didn't hear about the pronouns one.
Yeah,
interesting.
That's like a whole other discussion. I was just bringing that up.
Yeah,
similar to religion. That's like a whole another discussion.
There's like all different things. Yeah,
whole other thing. But in your opinion, do you think religion it doesn't even have to be like the religious teach? It doesn't even have to be like the religion conversion itself. Like do you think Mormonism or even Catholicism or even Judaism, Islam? It could be something as simple as like the stories. It could be something as simple as like teachings, or I mean, basically on how you want to describe it. Do you think religion should be in like modern society?
I'd say in my opinion, yes. Just because, well, like if you look at what is it like a thing. Well, I guess just in society, like, I guess within the recent like decade or so, like how like mental health has been like a really important thing, and people have been like focusing more on it. Where I think like all aspects of, I guess, what can be associated with us, like we should like have like a focus on it, because it's like like our physical well-being, we should like kind of like I guess have an aspect of that within our lives, our mental well-being, our emotional, and like in this sense like our spiritual, like with religion, like just in general, like as a person, because it's like, oh, like we each have these aspects like of ourselves where it's like I think it's good that we like, I guess, focus on them and have like something to as work with, like, and I guess compared to the alternative where it's like, oh yeah, let's just like forget about it, like pretend it doesn't exist, where it's like, no, like, yeah, we should like kind of focus on these things, like how much someone wants to, I guess, put into any given I guess area, like when it comes to that, like if you like well, since we're talking about religion specifically, it's like, oh, like, yeah, you can be the type of person where it's like, oh, like you maybe like go to church here and there or pray, like it doesn't have to be like a big thing, like you just do like, oh, I do stuff here and there, or it's like, oh, like you go to the extreme where it's, oh, like I'm like religious, like zealot, like you're an evangelist, like promoting stuff on TV, like stuff like that, or like whatever, I guess, fits you. We're like, you know, you're just in the middle, like it's like, oh, I'm not too far one way, not too far the other. But I think just having some aspect of it like can help, because like just the idea, because like I guess for the most part, like most religions believe in like a higher being, I guess, like someone like, I guess, like a creator, someone like above us, where it's like, oh, just to like, I guess, think in the, I guess, like I guess bigger perspective type of things, where it's like, oh, like, yeah, we're like, it's not just us, like there is like a creator that loves us, like this, like, I guess what we have here, like in this life, like what we're living through, like our ups, our downs, our like good, the bad, like all of that, like it's not, I guess, for nothing. No, like it's not just like, oh yeah, you know, I'm born, I live, and then I die. Like it's like religion helps you to like think of like, oh, like no, there's more to life, like and I guess just to kind of think, like not focus solely on like just yourself, because like religion like kind of helps you think, I guess, like have like an outward, I guess, view on like the world, where it's like, oh, like, yeah, maybe I should, you know, be nice to my neighbor, or oh, I can like help this lady open the door, like just focus, I guess, more of a focus on like helping other people and like taking care of others and like showing love, where it's like, you know, with some of the things going on in the world, it's like, yeah, like we should be a bit more loving and caring and like not like promoting violence and hate, where it's like religion helps you to, I guess, like it's kind of even, I guess, the scale, so it's not too much one way or like too much the other.
So what I'm getting from anyone who's listening, I'm pretty sure what I am understanding from what Mars is saying, he's more into like a balance type of positive, negative. Like obviously there's always going to be negatives, whether it be from religion, not from religion, good people, bad people. So you're kind of just taking like the positives and trying to work on, I guess, balancing negatives, or because obviously you're not going to fully extinguish it, because that's just, it's the real world. The real world's, you know, harsh, messed up. But I mean, what's wrong with a little positivity? And I guess is what you're trying to say. Kind of like pretty much trying to tip the balance instead of going one way or the other.
Yeah, because it's like just, I mean, like having a gray area is a lot better than having like a super like bleak, horrible mindset or like world, compared to like a like, yeah, super positive, nothing bad ever happens, because it's like how you were saying, like it's unrealistic to have one or the other. Like if you have that balance, then it,
well, yeah, I mean, we've seen
just
from
helps.
Like super religious societies tend to usually be too extreme. societies that don't have a religion. I mean, I can't think of a top of my head. I could also be wrong. Maybe there hasn't been any. I would also imagine it could be too extreme on the other, and there should probably be a balance. Is that naive thinking?
Yeah.
I mean, maybe I am not that old. Who knows? It could all. My opinion could change in 10 years or so. So who knows? I mean, this is just one recording. We could. Meet up with Mars maybe a couple years from now, 10 years from now. It'd be interesting to see if the perspectives are the same, what has changed, so on and so forth. So
it's gonna look back at this like 10 years later. It's like, what? I can't believe you said that. I'm canceling myself.
That was the thing. You just completely forgot you said that, and you. I mean, who knows what. This could be used in the future against Mars if he ever becomes a VTuber or if he becomes the president. Like, see what he said back then in his 20s? Even though he's 40 running for the president now? Like, yeah, whatever.
Just mess with him like, you can't prove that was me. Where's your evidence?
It's the same voice. You don't know that? That's AI generated.
Like
with AI generation now, you can pretty much just say it's all deep fake now.
Yeah, you're just like, it was a deep fake. They're like, what? What isn't that usually videos? Like, prove it. It can be a voice.
Well, I know that this has been very informative. Look at me trying to sound smart in a podcast.
I'm just kidding.
Are you laughing? I know I'm not that smart. You don't have to laugh at me.
I guess we're gonna end before boredom attacks me. No, I'm just kidding. please send help.
All right. Thanks for tuning in, people. If you've actually stuck around this far, you're pretty awesome. Because these podcasts are usually long, sometimes boring, but hey, you came in willingly, and I hope you got something out of it, whether it be positive, negative, good, bad, thumbs up, thumbs down, like, don't like, subscribe, unsubscribe. Whatever. I mean, you can also tune into Mars. I mean, you can also maybe, you never know. I mean, times change. He could one day do stuff. He could upload stuff. If you want to continue supporting him or even know more about him, you can head over to his channel. I'll pretty much put it on screen in the description below. I think that's about it. I mean, you do you, we do us. Any last words, Mars?
Yeah, I'll be, you want to send me money? I got an OnlyMans. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Oh, and
you could start the man-only one. Just call it OnlyMans.
OnlyMans, yep. Now I'm gonna become a famous billionaire, and they'll know where the idea started. But and thanks all of you for tuning in. For anyone that may be listening while they're driving or doing something like else, just watch out for that deer, and have a nice day.
All right, bye. See you guys.
See you.